What's up, everybody? It is your boy Chris Closes Your Deal with Real Estate Investing Made Easy and Lazarus Property Group. And we're about to jump on some live seller calls for the next couple hours and see if we can lock up some deals here. So, hey, what's up, Sterling? It's Chris Deal. How are you? Yeah, glad we could connect. Know you were going to be. Did your sister make it into town? Everything okay there?
Yep, she's back in town. Yep,
Awesome, awesome. All
I
right,
talked to her a little while ago. Yeah,
nice. How's she doing?
she said she's in a lot of pain. The doctors in Michigan still couldn't tell her what's wrong. It's nothing with her heart or anything, but they're just having some shoulder pain. She said that bad enough to go to ER, but they don't know. So now she's back home, so she'll probably go to her doctor and see if they can find out anything. But she just took some ibuprofen and that helped, and that's what it is so far. So
Yeah.
she doesn't know what causes the pain,
Mm.
and so
Yeah,
I
that's a
guess
little
it
scary.
needs some more tests or something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, got to get that checked out. I mean, at least it seems like they're confident that it's not, or at least semi-confident it's not her heart. So that's,
Right.
that
Yeah.
that's
So
that's good.
that's good. Yep.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, wanted to, just had the time to get back to you this afternoon and, wanted to kind of see where you guys were at this point, what you guys had talked about and um, what we think we might be able to do.
Um. Well, probably I think 25 is. I think what you mentioned is pretty low. I got another. I think I mentioned yesterday that I was having one more company to come out. So they came out today, and they're they're in the same price range as the first company,
Hmm.
which was around 60. So, uh, so yeah, I don't know if I can go with 24 or 25.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's such a big difference, but before, so I had two companies that said, 50,000. So,
Did you say 50 or 60? 'Cause I thought yesterday you were saying your sister had an offer of 50.
yeah, there's 150 and there's one that's 50 and there's two that's 60.
Got it.
So I've talked to three different companies outside of yours. Uh, that's what they're saying. They don't uh, in both companies, did a physical. They came out, looked at the house. Uh, they still want to, I guess, go back and go through the computer and I guess print some numbers. But tentatively, that's what they said. So
Yeah,
again, I haven't got the final number yet, but
I got you.
hopefully it's somewhere close to that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the biggest challenge, and I appreciate you sharing that with me, and if I was in your shoes, I would be, it would be a tough decision for me to make too, because it's like, man, I got these other offers that are coming in here, like, yeah, I mean, I would, who wants to leave, potentially 25, $30,000 on the table, right? Like would be considering
Yeah.
that as well. Um, I mean, like the just for like full disclosure, I mean, like the way it's all calculated is based off of, what could the property sell for if it was fully renovated in tip-top shape. And the only way you figure that out is by looking at what other properties that are comparable have sold for in tip-top shape or as close to tip-top shape as you can find them. Um, and there's not a ton of comps to go off of that are below 1,000 square feet, two bed, one bath. I mean, there's a few that are that have a third bedroom or a few that have a second bathroom. And, those two things obviously add pretty significant value to them. Let me see here. I'm just trying to pull up
Yeah, this house, this has 3 bedrooms.
is it?
Yes, 3 bedrooms. Yeah.
Let me see here.
Just thought it was two.
Might have been confusing it with another one. Let me just pull.
Yes, 3 bedrooms,
Oh, it is.
one
Yeah,
bath.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's 3 bed, 1 bath. Okay, so let me see here. Let me just get back into the reporting. So, um, yeah, so and then when it comes to looking at comps, we always try to stay within kind of the same subdivision, right? So, you don't want to go too far. Like we wouldn't look at anything that was sold across Fall Creek, because it's just a little bit of a different area, right? We generally don't want to go too far out, like looking at stuff, south of 30th and east of Keystone, because that's a different area. So we try to
Right.
keep it as close as possible, and especially since you have I think it's train tracks that run like kind of alongside Sutherland, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So we try to
Sutherland.
keep the comps that we're looking at, relatively close, so they're more like for like. Um, and the highest comp that sold in the last, what is it, 6 months? That's a 1,000 square foot. Um, let's see, let me adjust to 3 beds. Yeah, so there's one on Hovey, Hovey Street that, let's see, that one sold for 145, and that one is pretty much all updated. It's got new cabinets, new counters, new stainless steel appliances, looks to be luxury vinyl plank flooring, all throughout. Oh, sorry, it wasn't 2 bedroom versus 3 bedroom. The other thing that I was thinking of was is either 2 baths or a garage. So like this one on Hovey Street has a garage,
Okay. Okay.
whereas yours just has like the little concrete strips for sort of a driveway. Um, so that certainly adds some value. So, but let's just say even if it was, let me see, I'm just pulling up what they're. I mean, they basically put the full list value once it's fully renovated somewhere between 110 and 115. So, they're thinking after we close on it, we renovate it top to bottom and then sell it, we might be able to get somewhere between 110 and 115. And so, if we did that, let's see, 115, we'd have to pay, because we're going to use a listing agent, and then whatever buyer comes to purchase the home, they're going to have a buyer's agent. So both of them are going to get commissions on it. We're going to have closing costs. A lot of times right now, what we're seeing from buyers is they're requesting a concession for an interest rate buy down. So all in, we usually pay about 10% off the top when we sell a property. So that basically brings us down to about $100,000. And then let me see here on the renovation costs. Remind me again about the roof. Do you know pretty much I think you said everything was at least 15 years old, right? There wasn't really anything that was done inside of 15 years.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah. So, with that, like roofs for financing, generally, if the inspector for a like a mortgage company, when they do the inspection appraisal, if they come back and they see that the roof has usually 12 or less years on it, they usually want to see that updated. So, I mean, we're factoring in having to redo the roof. And on that square footage, I mean, you're probably talking about, $8,000 to $10,000. Um, and then on top of that, another about $30,000 for the full cosmetic rehab. So that's going to handle all new flooring, paint, fixtures, cabinets, countertops, appliances, whole new bathroom, like, nicer tile. Like the one on Hovey has like the big, um, it kind of looks like marble. It's not really marble, but they're like big 12-inch marble looking tiles. And it's got some like subway tiles, kind of in the mix there as well. So we would do all new enclosure, toilets, vanities, fixtures there, um, minor landscaping just to give it more curb appeal. So, all in, between the roof and that, that's like $38,000 all said and done, so then that brings us right to about 65, right? And we haven't even made a dime yet. And then on top of that, we usually have, I think I was mentioning to you, we have investors and they're usually looking for a return on the cash that they give to us for buying and taking down the deals. So we're probably talking about, maybe on something like this, probably $10,000 in fees for holding costs. Um, so that brings us to like 55, but again, we still haven't even made anything on it, you know? Um, so I just don't know how anybody is going to be able to perform at those 50 and 60 numbers. Um,
Right.
I really, really think what's going to happen is they're going to come back, after, like let's say you sign a contract with them, they're probably not going to waive their inspections. Um, you know, and I would honestly, if I'm you, here's what I would do. I would go to them and say, "Hey, look, I'll take your offer, but waive your inspection period and $5,000 EMD, like right now, non-refundable." And I wouldn't be shocked if they're like, "Ah, we can't do that. We need to do inspections." It's like, well, wait, didn't you already see it in person? Didn't you already walk it?
Okay.
And then just kind of call their bluff. If they do it, then hey, good on you and take their offer and go for it and get the deal done. But there's only a few things that we all in this industry don't have access to, right? Like we all have access to the same stores that sell the same materials and we're all paying the same price. Even with contractor discounts, we're getting 20% off retail, right? We're all using generally the same contractors who all have the same cost of living, so they all have to charge pretty much about the same price for the hours that they're doing it. Now, if you get a guy who's like, no, 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 me and my son, we're actually going to live here for, 3 months while we're doing it ourselves and we're going to swing the hammers, like they might be able to save on that because they're just doing it themselves and putting in the sweat equity. But if they're hiring contractors to do this stuff, they're going to pay about the same amount that we're going to pay. They're going to pay about the same amount in financing costs, which right now is usually somewhere in the 10 to 12% for the cost of money. They're going to pay the same closing costs. They're going to pay the same agents' commissions when they sell it. So all that stuff's going to be the same. There's very minimal things that, one guy might have that's going to have a different cost than what we would. Did I lose you? Man, every day there's one call that cuts out at 15 minutes, almost exactly 15 minutes and 41 seconds.
Hello, Chris. What
Hey,
happened?
sorry, man. It's so funny because I was talking to another guy about this yesterday. Literally every single day, without fail, there's at least one call a day where right about the 15-minute mark, it just cuts off and it's still connected. I can't hear them, they can't hear me, and you're the lucky guy today. So, uh,
Okay, well, okay. I know I didn't touch anything.
yeah, no, it's something with our phone, but it only happens once a day. I still don't understand why. It's very odd and it happens at random times.
Okay, no
So,
problem.
but,
Okay, well, yeah, we haven't talked about the since she's been home. We talked about is just how she was doing, but we didn't even mention the house yet. So
yeah,
we'll probably do that tomorrow. And
Okay.
Once you got home and settled, and after the
Yeah.
pain subsides a little bit, hopefully. But
Yeah, for sure. For
we didn't
sure.
even talk about the house today. Yeah, I
Okay.
was just more concerned about how she was
Yeah,
feeling after
100%.
driving 5 hours. You know.
Oh, she
Uh,
drove?
yeah, she drove from
Oh
Michigan. Yeah.
man, she's a trooper.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I volunteered to fly there and drive her back. She said, well, that's kind of pricey, but she said she should be okay. So she drove.
Well, glad that that worked out, you know. Um,
Yeah.
cool, man. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I would love to get something done. I'd love to make something, you know, that is a win-win for everybody. Um, you know, and you know, talk it over with her and see, you know, like, you know, what you guys would, you know, rock bottom you guys would absolutely be willing to do, you know, if assuming you're, you know, hesitant on any of these other offers, you know, if you're really leaning, because I'll just be straight up. I'll ask them, but I don't think there's a world where we can hit 50K. I don't see it. So unless they see something different that I'm not seeing, um, I don't see how we would be able to come up to 50. Um,
Right.
but you know, I could probably get a little bit of movement, just not quite to 50, you know. So I'll go to bat for you and see what I can do. You know, if you guys talk about it and figure out, okay, you know, what's the, you know, worst case scenario we'd be willing to take. Um,
Hmm.
you know, and then otherwise, if you think, you know, you guys are just going to take a chance on one of these other ones, I would very much encourage you to basically, you know, hey, you've seen it. Why don't you go non-contingent? You know, you've done your inspection, go non-contingent, $5,000 non-refundable EMD, not assignable, you know, and see what they come back with. And, you know, if they balk at that, that's the first sign that either A, they're just going to lock it up and then grind you down later, or B, they're going to, you know, they're newer to the business and they don't really know their numbers and they were going to try to shop it out to see if they could bring another investor to kind of come in on it, you know.
Right. Okay. All righty. Well, we'll stay in contact.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Well, yeah, hit me up and then you know, I'll check back in with you. What's today? Wednesday? Maybe I'll check back in with you Friday, see how that conversation went.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. Awesome. I appreciate you, Sterling. And you know, worst case scenario, if we can't get a deal done, you know, we at least part friends.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right. You have a great
Okay,
rest of your
Chris.
day.
Thank you too. Appreciate it.
All right. See ya.
Okay. Bye.
You know, on this one, I just don't see a world where even 50K works. I mean, you know, there's one comp that sold in the last 6 months that is a 3-1, 912 square feet. His is 864 square feet. It is a 3-1, and that sold for 145. There's another one that sold for 95. It's, I'd say it's like a rent ready condition. Um, let me just see what the rents are. I mean, we're underwriting it from a flip standpoint. I mean, if we look at it from a rental standpoint, I mean, there's a 3-1 864 square feet that's listed 8 days ago for 1250 a month. I mean, but everything in his house is 15 plus years old. So I mean, you're gonna need to do some work to it. That's weird. Um, even as a rental, I mean, this one's clean, you know, partially updated. Well, this looks like it could be a hedge fund. Brilliant management. Let me just run the address. Let's see what they bought it for, actually. They bought it for, ooh, they bought it for $85,000. Yeah, let's see what's for sale. There's nothing that's active. Maybe it makes sense as a rental buy, actually. Um, I mean, if those guys are going to keep it as a rental, but here are the comps, right? So we've got, yeah, you're right. It is always about the relationship. That's pretty much how most of my deals get locked up is via the relationship, But if I don't go out of the, little basically 8 to 12 block radius, I've got a 190. No, the 193 is way out. We got the 145, but that has a garage. Ours does not have a garage. We've got this one's a 3.2 sold for 135,000, but again, it's got two full baths and it's fairly updated. It's like rent ready cosmetic rental, um, fenced in yard, um, no garage. So if we added a bathroom, okay, maybe it goes to 135 and that's sold 6 days ago. And then we've got a 130. This is a 4 bed, 1 bath, totally different style house. Um, this sold off market. It's not even really a comp. That's actually across the river. Yeah, so I don't want to, let me put the boundary on this. Draw boundary. Yeah, so we go low is 85, and that's like fully renovated, or not fully renovated, but it's rent ready renovated. There's a 95, there's a 115, that's a 3.2, uh, 3.2 at 135, and then a 3.1 at 145. So, I mean, I think I'm being generous on the ARV at a 115. Maybe I can come up to 35 to 40. 40 would be a stretch. Um, Really it's going to come down to condition. So, these guys, um, these guys could be looking at it. They came in, they're physically there. They went into the property, so maybe it's in better condition than we're expecting. And, they're able to see it and really say, okay, I'm not going to need to do all that. It is rent ready. I can just, slap some paint on it, lipstick on a pig and call it a day and, rent it for $1,000 a month. And if I could buy it for 50, 60, I'm beating the 1% rule. I'm, getting damn near 2% on that. So, maybe that's the move. Could be worth doing an ovation. The challenge though is, once you get into that low a price point. So if the ARV, let's say it could sell, you know, I mean, I don't think it'll sell for this one that sold for 85 or what did this one sell? This one sold for 85. I don't think it's nicer than this one that sold for 85. Um, Actually, let me see what the outside looks like. Do I have pictures of the outside? Yeah, the outside probably looks like garbage. Let's look at the street view. Yeah, that's why they don't have pictures of the outside because the house next to it looks like trash. The other house next to it, driveway looks like trash. Yeah, it's not a good look from the outside, and that sold for 85. So I think ours looks better from the outside, but theirs looks better from the inside. So the curb appeal, so maybe it gets 85. I don't know, why is this not working? There we go. So let's just say it gets 90 as an ovation times 0.9 and then minus 50. Maybe could possibly be an ovation. Um, let's see. Let me call him back. I'm going to see about getting my agent in there. I want to get eyes on this thing. I would hate to lose this thing and find out that it's a decent deal. Um, Hey, Sterling, it's Chris again. How are you?
Chris, not bad. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, real
Good.
quick, I'm racking my brain on this, and I'm like, I would hate to be walking away from something that, is actually makes some sort of sense. I'm really struggling with it, but at the same time, just going off of everything you're telling me, we're kind of projecting everything needs to be redone. And, maybe we're over projecting on that. Would it be okay? Like, what would it look like if I wanted to get, my agent that's out there, to just come out, pop in, do a quick walkthrough?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, one day. Yeah.
Okay. What is what's the access look like? I know your nephew lives in the place, right?
Right. I mean, I can go there anytime. I have a key.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Is there generally like a better time of day that usually works best for you?
Anytime after 11.
After 11. Okay. All right. Let
Yeah.
me do this. Let me reach out and talk to her. Her name's Laura. She handles a lot of our deals out there, and she's awesome. But um, I would just I would hate to like walk away and, figure out that there was just something we were missing or, we're overlooking something and, maybe it wasn't, maybe there's some things we can save on instead of having to do a full total, rehab. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So let me touch gloves with her and then I'll connect with you and figure out a good time. So anytime after 11, like tomorrow, Friday would work.
Tomorrow probably not good. I'm gonna play lazy tomorrow. I'm supposed to be in the 30s tomorrow.
Oh, dang.
So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna stay in unless there's an emergency.
Yeah. Stay in that
But
heat.
it's supposed to be the high tomorrow. It's supposed to be in the mid 30s. So I'm not
Whew.
quite ready for that. But yeah.
I hear
So but
that.
Friday's good.
Friday's good. Okay. All right. All right. Let me touch gloves with her and see what her availability is like, and then I can hit you back up and get something on the calendar for her to get out there, and then we'll sharpen up the pencil as much as we possibly can, and see what we can absolutely do on this.
Okay, sounds good, Chris.
Awesome. I appreciate you, Sterling.
Okay,
Talk to you later.
no problem, man. Okay, okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Alfred, I'm glad you're on this live. Just good to have you, but also, you know, you got me thinking like, is there something I'm missing? And that's the other thing, right? Like I don't, you know, presume to know everything in this business, but one thing he was saying was that two guys came in and did walkthroughs, and so that's the only downside to being doing virtual wholesaling, right? Like you're having to make assumptions based on what they're telling you, and it's like 15 plus years old for a lot of stuff. You just start presuming like, yep, we're gonna have to do everything. We're gonna have to do everything. There's no way, right? So yeah, let me just call my agent real quick. Um, and then I'll take a look at that deal you posted there in the chat. Mm. Yeah, the other guys are absolutely going to ask for a reduction. Even if their numbers work, I think they're going to come back for a reduction. Although if it's like rent ready and like you just need like lipstick on a pig, even if it was 10K, if they can get it for 50 to 60, put 10K in it, now you're 60 to 70. Rent rates are like $1,000 over there. Laura, let me text her. traffic officer in the Hollywood Hills have a relationship with the agent, let you pass them off with the offer. Nice. Yeah, let's do it, man. Okay, so would you be able to pop out to this property Friday after 11? Oop, did she just call me? Oh, here we go. Laura. Hey, there you go. How's it going? Oh, yeah, yeah. So that's right. You don't have an iPhone. You're one of those people, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the beauty about iPhone is when you're leaving a voicemail, is it'll show me and it'll transcribe live, and I have the option to pick up the call while you're actually leaving a voicemail. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is kind of cool. I was like, that's great. I can screen my calls without having to really screen my calls. So,
Answering machine trick.
yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, so I wanted to connect with you real quick because I just got off the phone with a guy and I'm kind of struggling on this one. Basically, I'm underwriting it from the lens of like, hey, this needs a full rehab, and possibly a roof to flip. It's a 3-1, 864 square feet, and it doesn't have it's a one bathroom. No worries. Okay. Yep. 864 square feet. Yep. 3 bed, 1 bath, no garage, no garage. It's not fenced in, possibly needs a roof. But basically, from the conversation I'm having with him, everything is at least 15 years old. So I'm just going through the lens of like, okay, well, if we have to do a full rehab on this, where are we coming in at? And, I'm struggling with the comps. So I came in at like a 24,007, basically a $25,000 offer. And he's like, that's not going to work. My sister got a $50,000 offer. I had two other guys that both did walkthroughs. They're at 60 grand. I'm struggling to see an ARV over 115 on this, which, if from a fix and flip standpoint, that's not a deal at 50 or 60 if you have to do a full 30K rehab plus a roof. Um, but these guys have been in the house and I'm presuming like full flip, you know, I just don't want to leave any money on the table. And if, from a rental standpoint, if it's decently rent ready, I mean, those things over there, I think are renting for right around $1,000 or more. So if we can get it somewhere around 50, 60, we're going to beat the 1% rule from so it could be a good rental deal to sell to somebody,
Okay, is this the Irvington?
No, no, no. This is a different one. I'll give you the address. Let me know when you're ready. So, he really good guy. His name's Sterling. It's him and his sister that own it. His nephew's currently living in it, but his nephew just doesn't want the responsibility of like owning a home and managing a home. So they're looking to sell it. Um, I have really good rapport with Sterling. So, and I basically just kind of planted the seed like, hey, I don't see how anybody's going to close at that number. I think they're going to try to beat you down while they're in contract, but it makes it harder to push that narrative when he's got three offers that are 50 to 60 and mine is like 25. Yeah. 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 Yep. But he said he's available after 11 a.m. If you wanted to pop by and take a gander at it like on Friday.
See, that's kind of a half industrial area. That's next to the tracks and it's on the wrong side of the creek is what it is.
Yeah.
Give me a step. So I'll run my research and share it with you. Before we plan on a meeting or anything, I need to know that the numbers make sense to you because otherwise it's wasting my time.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
numbers on Irvington and this one and send them both to you, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. And then did you get my Allison numbers?
I did. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk. Really, I need to talk to Matt about it because he's going to be the one potentially coming to the table with funds to carry it for the period of time. So that's why when I was talking to him, he was like, "Yeah, I mean, if we can get an idea of like where we really think, it needs to be to move in 30, 60, 90, then that'll help us." I mean, just kind of brainstorming with him, I'm like, okay, well, what's worst case scenario? Worst case scenario, I mean, absolute worst case scenario is the market takes a freaking nosedive, but I don't really see that happening with Trump getting elected and, all the things, that are already kind of rebounding. So if anything, I think I see a world where regulation gets kind of cut and, all of a sudden 2025 is like a rocket ship again. Um, so, um, but worst case scenario, let's say it takes us 6 months to sell it and we have to break even. I mean, basically would need to sell for like 720, 730 to break even.
And you can do that.
Yeah. So, yep. Yeah, so that's kind of the lens I'm taking it from, but also, not discounting the fact that we'd like to move it in, 30 to 90 days if possible. Um,
So you've got a lot of, I mean, you've seen my price per square footage that we're at right now.
yeah,
Between your, you just where we're at.
yeah,
Incremental of those numbers and where that math came from in my noggin. So you can see based on those comps that I shared with you, those are fresh comps.
yeah,
And you can see how they compare and everything. So hopefully that gives you perspective on those numbers.
yeah, for sure.
Hopefully that's enough information that you guys can come to your conclusion and just let me know the direction you want to go with it. And that's what we'll do.
Okay.
As far as Raphael and Chandra go, Raphael just has been a guy. And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
He's shifted, and instead of last weekend, we're doing one this weekend, and he's good with that as well. So, open houses have not been a problem, and honestly, I almost sat one of them, and colleagues have wanted to step in for the others, and I'm good with that.
Okay.
And Raphael and Chandra have been good with it too. Chandra and I have developed a rapport, and she and I are looking at her rental scenario. She's doing a sip and sleep on it scenario tonight on 2 different rentals because come to find out they seem to be owned by the same Indian company. And the guy's trying to mess around with numbers with him and putting her off her game. She's not comfortable moving forward with him. And so she's going to debate tonight and decide and let me know tomorrow if she wants to move forward with signing a lease with this company on one of those units, or if she just wants to back away entirely because of the way he's playing this game.
Got it.
So, which either way, it doesn't matter. So, and then she and I talked about her scenario, and she said, honestly, it's not that she needs an advance to be able to move in. It's whether or not she's paying a December mortgage payment on the 15th is the deciding factor on whether she's moving December or January.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
With the mortgage payment being what, like 2,100 or something, right? Or am I thinking of a different one?
It's $4,000.
$4,000. Yeah, I'm thinking of a different one. Thinking about my back road, which knock on wood is going under.
Nice.
But yeah, finally. So there's rather than fronting her $5,000, if you guys are able to close and she doesn't have to pony up for a December mortgage payment on the 15th, yeah, it could be in the
Got it.
is what I'm saying. Okay. But I didn't share that with you.
Wait, so she wouldn't need any cash up front if we just made the December payment?
Correct.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, because that's
I didn't tell you that.
okay. All right. Yeah, I'll just offer that, like, hey, what if we could, we could either pay you $5,000, now so you can handle the moving, or just pay the December payment and then we'll cash you out the rest of the equity, once we close with our end buyer. And then if there's any resistance to that, then we can also, we could say, okay, well, what if for the hassle, we could just, give you an extra $5,000 at the end of the day,
Right. So I'll leave that to you because that's your in-house numbers between you and Christian and I'm guessing Matt.
Yep.
So I'll leave that to you, but I just wanted to give you that little tidbit of information that I was able to sneak out.
Got it. Okay. Perfect. Sounds good. Well, yeah, let me know what you come up with this one on Arsenal and then Irvington, and then I'll talk to the team. We'll figure out what a game plan for Allisonville, and then I'll try to have an answer for you, this week for sure.
Okay. Yeah, because she's trying to get a lease in this week.
Okay.
She wants to have that peace of mind. Okay, I have some place to go. I can go ahead and start prepping and gearing that direction.
Yeah.
So that's where she's at because she does want to vacate before closing.
Okay.
So just to let you know that, and then Raphael, I guess he's waiting for closing. Once he has that definitive date, then he's ready to roll out of there.
Got it. Okay.
He's already got it. And then Irvington. Roland, I texted him and asked him when he was available afternoon tomorrow to meet with me so I could collect those keys, and I haven't heard back yet.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, keep me posted. This one, we're considering taking this down ourselves, but we have no idea of the condition. The seller didn't really have any idea of condition. He said the tenant is a handyman, but you and I both know that either means that it needs an entire gut job remodel and everything else, or we're going to walk in. Exactly. We're going to walk in and we're going to be like, this is a jackpot. Like, let's go. So. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so once
When you mentioned this,
Irvington is the one we really, the seller was taking guesses as condition because he hasn't been there in, 5+ years.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned this one. You just didn't tell me the address yet.
Yeah. Yep. And Carolina got you all the info on it, right? Like contact info for the tenant, the address and all that. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Give me Roland's first name and phone number, and I reached out to him. And that's all I have.
Got it.
Okay. That's it. So, but I can dig out the rest of what I need and then I'll tag you if I'm missing anything.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sounds good. And then apparently he's already moved out. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, I mean that's what Carolina was saying when she talked to him for the welcome call. So which is fantastic. I didn't think he was going to move out that quickly or was in the process.
So are the utilities on or do you know?
I don't know. I if I had to guess, he's like in the final stages of moving out is kind of what it seemed like. But I'm not 100% sure on that.
So we don't know if it's going to be transferred back into the owner's name or not.
Good question.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a nice thing to know. And then that way we can avoid a reconnection or something like that when it comes to, pictures and tours and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, apparently he said he's already moved out. He has a few more items in the house. So yeah, it looks like he's just finalizing getting out. So yeah, what I'll do, yeah, double check with him to confirm that he's left the utilities on. And then,
Probably did not. If he's just getting a couple more things out, he probably already transferred them out of his name. It's whether they're in the owner's name or disconnected.
got it.
And so
Okay.
that would be a call to the owner.
Okay. All right.
You can tag Carolina. I'm actually looking at the text right now and ask her if she'd follow up on the utilities.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, you just handle that and then I got to jump back on the phones here so I can lock up more deals for you to sell. All right. I'm going to be grinding here so my goal over the next 42 days is 60 dials a day, on weekdays, 20 dials a day on the weekends, both Saturday and Sunday, and 2 offers a day on the weekdays and 1 offer a day on weekends. So, I'm going to be grinding, trying to go into 2025 with a full bucket. So cool.
With a bang. My brokerage, I capped at 16, and so I'm at 100%
Nice.
between February 1st. So if I can get it closed before February 1st, it's all mine. So come on, keep them rolling.
Let's go. All right. Cool.
I need it.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Well, you have a good night, and I'll get back to work, and we'll put our heads together later.
All right. Sounds good. Talk to you later. Bye. All right, guys. Yeah, great agent to have on your team. Okay, so Alfred, if you're still on here, I don't know if you have my email address. I'm gonna send you my email. Send over any details you have on that deal I'm looking at it's in LA. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, okay. Oh, it's not actually listed. It was listed. The previous, oh, that's funny. Okay, so Tom Otero actually was the previous listing and buyer's agent. So he double-ended that deal way back. But that was in September of 2022. So I don't know if he's even involved. Are you talking to the seller on that, or are you oh, wait a second. Is this the right address? Oh, wait. Is it 3451 or 3450? Because this is okay, so that's weird. Let's see here. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why. I thought I just copy and pasted what you put in the chat, but apparently I didn't. Mm-mm. Oh, I see it. Okay. Yeah. Like a pink house. Oh yeah, it's definitely a cosmetic flip. 1295. Yeah, send me over any details. Oh, what does that have, an ADU or something on it? Send me over any details you have on it, any conversation you've already had, and then that way I can kind of um, go in and do what I do. Okay, so let's see here. So Laura will get back to me tomorrow on this one. Okay, let me go into here. All right, let's see here. Yep, where did I have to here we go. All right, let's make some more dials here. What else did we have? Okay, so
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
hey Gleister, it's Chris. Hope you're doing well. Just had some time here to reconnect with you. Give me a call back when you get a chance. My telephone number is 619-525-7132. Again, 619-525-7132. Hope you're having a great day, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, let's go on to the next one here. Let's get a new lead. Here we go, Indianapolis. Oh, 5 or 6 condition. Wow. Oh, I thought that was her asking price. Okay, so apparently Zillow says it's 512, Redfin says 351. That's a pretty wild gap in estimates. So let's go ahead and dial.
Hello?
Hi, Katie, this is Chris. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a beautiful, what is it, Wednesday? Man, I can't even keep up with the week. It's like, yeah, beautiful
Mhm.
Wednesday. How's everything in Indy? You guys are about to get some cold weather here tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we had cold rain last night and this morning, then it cleared up and Now we're gonna get snow starting tonight. Lucky us. Yay!
Oh, fun times. I definitely don't miss that. That's why I moved out away from the East Coast down to just about as far south as I could possibly get without going to Mexico.
There
But
you go.
yeah, well, I was reaching out to you because it looks like you were actually texting with one of my colleagues, Brad, about a property that you own over on Surrey Hill that you were considering selling because you guys are moving out of state.
Correct.
Yeah,
Moving
look,
to Arizona and Nebraska.
wait, you're moving to two places.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Arizona and
We're getting up the
Nebraska.
third place. Yes.
Nice. Okay. Well, you guys are that's awesome. What's I mean, two wildly different places. What's got you moving to those two places?
Well, my husband's from Nebraska and his family. He has the farm now. His mother just passed away, and I'm from my mother's house. So we'll
So
spend
sorry,
most of the
you
time.
cut out there at the last second. You said something about you're from Arizona.
Yeah, I'm from Arizona, and my mother had passed away, and I bought the house that I grew up in.
Hmm.
So
Got it. Okay.
we'll spend most of the time in Arizona when it's nice weather, and go back to Nebraska when they have nice weather.
That's the way to live, right? You know, just constantly avoid the snow, slush, sleet, hail, and everything else.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Um, Perfect. Well, and by the way, I do have to let you know that all calls are monitored and recorded for quality and training purpose.
Uh-huh.
The point of this call today is really just to see if your property qualifies for what we're looking for to be able to get approved for an as-is offer. So, Katie,
Uh-huh.
we're generally looking for properties to put in the portfolio for usually one of two reasons. Either we're going to fix it up to today's standards and then sell it, or we're going to keep it and we'll rent it out in some capacity. Could be traveling nurses, could be long-term rentals. There's a whole host of different ways we could, rent it out. But by the end of this phone call, we're either going to get an approval from the underwriters and they'll give us an offer, or they're going to deny us and they'll tell us exactly why. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if we do get this approved, some of the benefits of working with us is that we will buy the home as is. We would cover all of the closing costs, both your side and our side, and there's absolutely no realtor commissions that would be coming out. So it's pretty straightforward. Do you mind grabbing a pen and a piece of paper real quick? I'm going to have you jot down my contact info, and then if we get this approved, there's going to be some other info you're going to want to take down as well.
Okay. Let me get to the back side of the tablet. All right, go ahead.
All right. So my name is Chris Deal, like deal or no deal.
Okay.
The name of our company is Lazarus Property Group, like Lazarus from the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Or Lazarus Jewelry or Stone.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, there you go. And then our telephone number here is 619
Mm-hmm.
525
Mm-hmm.
7132.
Okay, 7132.
Yep. And then, yeah. And by the way, what was your husband's name?
Larry.
Larry. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. When's the last time you and Larry, really sat and talked about selling?
We talked about it all the time.
Oh, okay. All
Because
right.
we're moving, so I'm gonna either sell it to someone that will finish fixing it up, through meaning you guys, or I'm gonna sell it straight out to someone else. Because
Got
I've
it.
sold houses before.
Oh, you did. Okay. Were you like a
Yeah.
realtor, or are you just your previous
No.
houses that you've owned?
Just previous houses.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I guess how long have you guys been, considering selling the house? Like, when did this all kind of transpire?
We've been trying to get out of here for like the last 5 years, but because of my husband's jobs, one thing led to another. So,
Got it. Okay.
And then it got, and then when we had to put his mom in assistant living and then nursing home, it got to be where we had way too many houses to keep in touch or keep in track of, and visit and make sure they're all doing well.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. How long ago did I mean, it sounded like both your mothers just passed away recently, right? Or is that?
No, mine passed over 10 years ago. His was just a month ago.
Oh, okay. Got it. Well, sorry for your losses. I know, regardless of how long it's been, it's, still not enjoyable for sure.
Yeah, it's life. But thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. That's what happens, right? We get old and, at some point, there's only so much they can
Some
do with
people
medical
don't get
science.
old, so there you go.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly. Could be worse, right? Um, all right. Well, I guess so are you guys are already in the process of moving, or when do you think you're going to be
correct.
actually making? Oh, okay.
No,
All right.
we're loading another truck on Saturday and taking it out.
Got it. Okay. On Saturday. Okay, so you guys are going to be fully vacated basically by the end of the weekend.
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
just said we had another truck.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it. When do you think you'll be fully moved into the new places?
Well, now we have to start watching the weather, but we'd like to be
Yeah.
out of here in a month, but we're running time. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing, but I mean, we're trying to do sooner than later. This is our third trip now
Oh, got
for
it.
the
Okay.
truck. So,
Okay. Yeah. So if you guys could get it done before Christmas, that would be ideal. Okay. All right. Got it. And
but then go ahead.
oh no, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm just saying, that we always have like some previous commitments that take up some time, here and there for the holidays.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Is most of your family in Indiana, or they
No, we
all?
have no one in Indiana. We came
Oh,
here for my husband's job.
oh, got it. Okay. What's your husband do?
He's a mechanical engineer.
Oh, okay. Nice. That sounds cool. My one of my uncles was a mechanical engineer.
Mm.
So, all
So
right.
we're happy that Trump's back in office, so there could possibly be some work coming.
I'm glad you said it because I always want to say it, but I don't want to say it because I don't know who's on the other end of the call,
Well, you
So
can tell I don't care. I mean, I'll debate anyone.
yeah, no, that's awesome. No,
I
I
mean, you got to
was
be you should be true to yourself. I mean, I'm
yeah,
sorry these people that don't say it. I mean,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, it's just hard when you're on work time, and then, you got like managers that are like, like you don't want to rock the boat, It's like so,
Right.
but yeah, I'm right there with you. My wife and I were probably up until like, I don't know, whatever time it was, like 1 o'clock in the morning when finally the
Yeah, it was
speech happened.
3:30. Yeah, it was the 3:05 is when he started doing this speech. Our
Okay.
time in Indianapolis.
Yeah, so it was like
Yeah.
12:05 my time. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
yeah, my wife was getting tired, but I'm like, I'm not gonna miss this. I want to see it live.
Oh
So,
yeah, no, I was up and we had a moving truck coming in the next morning early, but I still, I still
nice.
because I was up the last two other times too when
Hmm.
they wouldn't call it the first time for him,
Oh
and I
yeah.
kept saying, "There's no way Hillary can do it now. He's got all the big major states."
Oh yeah,
So
definitely. And honestly, he didn't just win this year. He absolutely dominated this year. It's
yeah, he
like
slaughtered it.
they tried to
Well, this is what made me mad because are you in Phoenix? Is that where you are?
no, actually I'm in San Diego.
Oh, you're in San Diego. That's right. Yeah, okay, yeah. I used to live in LA. But
Oh,
anyway,
nice.
what made me mad is I've always voted in Arizona.
Uh-huh.
And when I voted the last time, the polls closed at 8 o'clock in
Uh-huh.
Arizona. Well, by 8:05, they called it for Biden.
Oh yeah.
And they called Arizona. And I'm like, no, they just closed. There is no way. And then, this time it took days for
Yep.
Arizona to finally count everything. And it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
no, don't give me this.
Yeah. Well, you know what's
So,
crazier? I don't know if you saw this, but the only states that Kamala won are ironically the states that don't have voter ID requirements.
yes, I did see that. I didn't post that because I wanted to double check because I have a lot of people that just are always like, you know, are
Yeah,
you sure?
yeah.
And yeah, and
Yep.
we've been traveling, so.
Oh
But
yeah.
here's the thing, like when they were saying that they didn't have that no state for abortions, especially full term abortion
Mhm.
and Walt slide. I pulled that up, and there's actually 8 states
Oh, I know.
that
It's terrible.
allow that, and yeah, and so I finally put the map on Facebook to show everyone. I go,
Yeah.
here's your thing. I said, debate this now.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Actually, I was just looking in the mirror. You would love the shirt that I'm wearing right now.
Oh,
It says the F in communism stands for food.
mhm. Yeah. That's good that you're in California and voted Trump. So.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of us. If you there was a map actually, there was a map
Yeah, I saw
where
how many counties he actually won in
yeah,
California.
like
I
it
was glad.
virtually almost flip. Like if it wasn't for I'm surprised. I'm surprised, but not surprised that San Diego is still blue. But it is out of all the 3
Mm,
major cities in California, it is the most conservative just because of all the military that we have here.
sure.
But yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, I was blown away by how many counties he won, and districts he won in California. But but I digress. I could talk about this all day long. I know you probably have other things to do too. So as far as, is just you and your husband that owns the property?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Got it. Is he around? Does he want to jump on and be
He's
kind of involved?
listening to everything you're saying.
Oh, okay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. How you doing, Larry?
Good.
Good, good. Awesome. Nice to meet you in virtually.
Yeah.
Um, cool. Well, I guess, in an ideal world, given the condition and anything that might need to be done, what are you guys hoping to get for the property?
Well, I already told your partner we're hoping to get 415. That's what my
415.
husband has come up with. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. 415. All right. And just out of curiosity, like how did you guys arrive at that number?
Go ahead, Larry.
Well, it's based on what things are selling and what time on the market, and it's where we did discount somewhat because there's some renovations that people want to do. There's probably some carpet that needs to be replaced, some painting that they'll want to do to personalize stuff and everything. So.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
And
All
it's
right.
also, they probably want to do some updating. So rather than us update and do something that people don't like, just make it cheaper so that they can personalize it and do what they want.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
It's cheap to do anyway. No one ever likes how you have it. So.
Oh, tell me about it. I mean, we sold a house, forget exactly when it was. It was probably like 3,500 square feet, but we put all brand new carpet throughout the house. It was really nice carpet. It looked great. It was like $12,000 or $13,000. And literally the day after closing, the buyers, the first thing they did was rip out all the carpeting. And then they went and they spent about $15,000 on brand new luxury vinyl plank flooring. And it was like, and of course, when we, because we usually do a follow-up call with a buyer and it's like, hey, congratulations, what's your plans? And they told us, and we're like, interesting, did you guys was that something you took into consideration when you made the offer? Like if the floors were, you know, what you wanted, would you have offered more? And they're like, yeah, probably. And I was like, oh man, that's, you know, kind of sucks, you know, because it's just wasted
Right, because
money,
you
you
spend
know?
all that money and time, yeah.
Yep,
See,
exactly.
and
So,
that's why, I'm brutally honest with people about what needs to be done in here, it's like,
mhm,
it's just, cosmetics a lot, and, people have their own taste,
yeah,
so.
yep. Yeah, and it's going to come out in, you know, when we do a walkthrough anyway. So it's like, what's the use, you know,
Mhm.
of, you know, trying to keep things under wrap? It's like, it's going to fool, everybody's going to find
Exactly.
out.
I'd rather you guys know now, and it's like,
Yeah.
there you go.
And if we can make something work, great. And if not, hey, we part ways, shake hands as friends, and you know, cheers to the fact that Trump won, and move on with our lives, right? So, um, cool. So it sounds like, you know, with the house itself, since you guys already have the other houses, like it's not like, okay, we have to sell this in order to go buy our next house, or we need the money like right
Exactly.
away to go do this thing.
Yep.
So that's good. It kind of gives you guys a little bit of, you know, breathing room,
Well,
so to
that's why I
speak.
said, it's either, get our price or close to it. Because, like I said, I have no problem listing it.
Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. And perfect. Well,
I'm just
let's
being lazy right now.
I hear you. Well, you know, when you're starting to get 30-degree weather and snow, like nobody wants to work in that type, you know, and then if you have to, you know, travel back and forth to handle it, you know, it's not exciting. So I totally get it. Um, all right. Well, let's talk about the property itself. You know, before we talk about the inside of the house, I want you to talk to me about the outside of the house, starting with like, what's the neighborhood like?
Oh, this neighborhood is wonderful. Everyone keeps their yards up. The original when this was built and everything, a cardiologist, a top-notch cardiologist and a real estate agent built this custom house.
Hmm.
And so it has everything that you can ever imagine. They had like, I guess, 2 or 3 kids. We're on an acre. It looks like an English Tudor. We have, of course, the garage attached to the house, and then we have a separate garage, and then we have a summer kitchen down the way. We're on an acre. We're up on a hill. We've gone in and now landscaped with, we have black irises, we have peonies, we have Rose of Sharon, but the trees, what are they? We have purple magnolia trees. I mean, we did a lot and we have grass, of course. So there was a lot done. So, that all year round you have, flowers or something happening.
Nice.
So
Awesome. That
I
sounds
will tell you up front that the back of outside the house where the decking is and all of that, because of the weather, and Menard sold us the wrong paint. Oh, and my husband just put up a whole new wooden fence on both sides and gate. We just haven't painted that yet. But so that could be painted any color that they wanted. But it is treated lumber.
okay.
So that just got finished for that. So that really helps.
Okay, and I'm sorry, you were starting to talk about the decking, and you said
Yeah,
something
the
about the
decking
decking
in the
I
back,
missed.
but again, it's going to be, and we have concrete all around, but it's just decking right outside. We put in 2 new sliding glass doors, both of the sunroom and the kitchen that goes to the back. But of course, the garage also has a brand new door to go in the back too. The pedestrian door.
Okay.
But, that's an easy fix. And again, they may not even like how the original decking was done. And it's a small area anyway.
Yeah,
And then,
and
there's
that's wood decking?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
So like
Okay.
I said, they may want to re-landscape, do whatever, So.
Yeah, got it. Okay. All right. It is
Yeah.
my guess is that most of the neighbors are owner occupants, right? Or are there a
Oh,
lot of
they all
rentals?
are. Yes.
Okay.
And the houses, like I said, the lawns are always kept up. It's a very quiet neighborhood all around this whole area around here. A lot of people moved back after they left and had children and they wanted to come back.
Mhm.
And like I said, the houses are always kept impeccable, the lawns. People do that. Everyone looks out for everyone, but it's quiet, like on Saturdays and Sundays. And like on one side of our yard in the back is like kind of still a forest area where, you can see raccoons and, we have foxes sometimes,
Hmm.
that bring their babies.
Well, that's
I mean,
cool.
they don't get in our yard because we have high fences, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Got it.
and we
Okay.
have deer sometimes that run,
Nice.
here, and this is in the city. So, like I said, it's beautiful. So, and of course, we don't have the house right next door, where you can touch it or any of that on either
Yeah.
side.
Got it. Okay. All right. You said you're on an acre, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Cool.
there's a few people that have a big lot.
Nice. All right. Perfect. And is there anything structurally wrong with the home?
No,
Okay. No structural
nope. I could
issues.
tap dance in all the rooms, and
Okay. All right.
I gotta hop and jump, and
Nice. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Is there anything in the back of the house that we can't see, like a pool, a shed, any other, like a barn or any other
Oh yeah, we have a
structures?
swimming pool with a jacuzzi. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see, swimming pool and jacuzzi.
We
Okay.
did have a new cover on it, but over the years, I don't like blue, so I didn't want a blue cover.
Hmm.
So of course I picked a dark color, which wasn't good for the sun. But
Got it.
it is it was a new cover.
Yeah.
Well, now it needs a new cover. I know, but I'm just saying.
Needs a new cover. Okay, got it. How long has the pool been there?
I guess when it was built. Yeah, when the
Oh,
house
okay.
was built.
Okay.
But we put in like new stuff in it, new pump and different things and filters.
Got it. Okay. All right. And it's currently being utilized, right? Like the pump's functioning. It's not like just sitting or
It
anything.
probably is, but I
Okay.
had a massive stroke,
Oh,
so
no.
I was paralyzed for a while, so we just boarded it up. So
Oh, geez. You're
yeah, figuratively. I mean, we didn't board it up.
oh, gotcha. I was like, wait, what? I wasn't sure if you were talking about the pool or the stroke. I was like, what? That's an odd thing to
No.
say
I mean,
about a
it's still
stroke.
holding water. It's still holding water. So
Yeah.
I would budget a new pump, but they're only $350 for new pumps.
Oh, okay. Perfect. What about the liner, itself?
It's a gunite pool.
It's a what?
Gunite.
Gunite. Okay. Got it.
Concrete, yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. Cool.
So you don't have
Cool.
to worry about a lot.
It's actually, I think it's 18 by 36.
It's a large pool.
18 by 36. Okay. All right.
Diving board.
Are there any issues with the pool that you think might need to be addressed?
Not that we know of, but we haven't used it for so
Right,
long.
and it's been winterized.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, on a separate note, how are you? My mom had a stroke and a brain aneurysm 7 years ago, and I know that's tough. How are you holding up?
Good. I had a massive stroke 10 years ago, so
Yeah.
paralyzed the left side of me.
Oh.
And most women don't live past 8 years with a massive stroke. So
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm back almost 96, 97%.
Wow,
So I
that's
still can't
awesome.
put 2 toes in the hill and my hand, but I work on it constantly. So
Yeah. Yeah. So my mom, so hers was, she had a brain aneurysm in like the
Mm.
main vein in the center of her brain, which then the
Uh,
cascade effect was a stroke. And they said what the neurosurgeon said was like 25% die on the spot, 25% die on the way to the hospital, another 25% die
mhm.
at the hospital, and then the other 25% have like long-term issues. So she's made it out, and she's obviously like, I think it's like somewhere between 7 and 8 years. But she's going to be moving out with my wife and I in the next year to live with us, so we can take care of her.
Oh,
But she's packed on a few pounds, and we're trying to get her to like exercise and do things. So like, do you have any tips or any things you?
so it's very important that she does lose weight and that she does work on it. I mean, I actually help other people. Like we found a deep tissue masseuse right away to work on me.
Mhm.
And I'm one of these that even in the middle of the night, I was working on getting my hand back, lifting my leg, all of that constantly.
Mm.
Um, and she has to do the work. And I belong to a lot of stroke sites where the people are like, well, my physical therapist, I mean, I had to fire 3 of them
Yeah.
because I'd go there and I'd already have it, learned what they wanted me. And they're like, you did this? And I go, yeah, what else am I supposed to do? So
Yeah.
the main thing is you have to, it's tough love, but she has to get up and do the things. She's the only one. And when they say that after 3 years, you won't heal anymore, that's bull hockey. I still have nerve endings coming back because I destroyed the lower part of my brain almost completely. So I
Mhm.
had to teach a new part of my brain, and my new part of the brain refuses, like when I go to sit down, it refuses to let me know how to get up. So I constantly have to remember how to slide out of a chair, how to
Oh,
pull
wow.
myself up, and which foot goes first. And
Yeah.
that may never come back, and she needs to exercise. If there is a machine out there that she can just scan and it just shakes everything
Mhm.
on her, and that will get her going.
Okay.
Those are probably one of the best things, to do. And they do that in rehab. I actually have a couple of them. But, they're good for her circulation too.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the
Nice.
main thing is I know it's tough, but you guys just have to say, you're the only one that can do the work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard because she lives in Philadelphia now. She's actually she just got here yesterday, and
Oh,
yeah, so she's actually in town for 2 weeks. We have a 2-year-old daughter. Well, she'll be 2 on December
aw.
8th. So yeah, so she's out here to visit, and then she's gonna move out here in the
Mhm.
next year when we build an ADU. But yeah,
Mhm.
we try to encourage her, but my dad is not super healthy either. So there's
Mhm.
nobody else over there, that's like encouraging like healthy lifestyle. And so it's kind of an uphill battle a bit. But we want her to be around as long as possible, especially with our 2-year-old. So,
Well, that's what you need to tell her, You have to live for your 2-year-old,
yeah,
because you want to see them and, you know.
yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly. Well, I appreciate,
There's
the feedback. What's up?
there's some alternative stuff too, like all these doctors want to get rid of cholesterol
Hmm.
and give people all sorts of cholesterol medicine.
Yeah.
However, your brain needs cholesterol to work.
Hmm.
That's that's what fuels the brain is cholesterol.
Yeah.
So, the eggs and the meat and all that stuff, that's cholesterol, but it's actually good for the body. And
Got
they're
it.
starting to figure out that a lot of the tests or studies that they did like in the 70s and 80s were actually funded by the food companies that were
Oh,
doing
yeah.
the margarine and stuff like that. So
Yep.
and
Yeah.
I have 3 or 4 days a month where I'm totally shelved. Everything hurts. I'm tired and this and that. And then my husband will remind me, he goes, you need to go get a steak or some red meat. And I go and I do that, and within 20 minutes, I'm back.
Oh, wow.
And it's amazing. Yeah, I went and did a hyperbaric chamber because they were doing tests on stroke patients,
Uh-huh.
3 days after my stroke, and they had lifted me in there. But the doctor was from Florida, and he does all those drips for people,
Mhm.
that have cancer and this and that. And he said to me, "When did you have the stroke?" And I go, like Monday. And he goes, "Monday of last week?" And I go, "No, 3 days ago." And he goes, "Oh my God, must be the healthy diet." And my husband goes, "She tries to kill me every chance she gets." And I said, "Well, I eat a lot of meat, but I drink a lot of Pepsis, but I drink a lot of water." And here's this guy from Florida, and he goes, "Meat is one of the most important things that you can do for your body, and not take the protein pills and different things like that."
Oh,
So,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Well,
I also, like, 3 years into it, I was still getting dizzy when I'd get out of bed, and I
mm,
just didn't have energy. And so a friend of mine turned me on a drink called Genesis, which is all natural pomegranate reservoir, grape seeds, all of that, and it really helped a lot of people that had cancer.
mhm.
And I started taking that. My dizziness went around, and I had energy, and I went off of it. Yeah, it went away. And then a couple of months ago, I was like, "Oh, I haven't been out," and I started taking it again. And I mean, it just gives you energy, and it's good for you.
Yeah.
There's nothing bad in there for you.
Interesting. Okay. You
So,
said it's called
Kept
Genesis?
your blood pressure.
yeah, and it's kept my blood pressure down too.
Nice.
And what happened was, a lady had told me about it, and she goes, "Well, it's kind of expensive," and her white counts were not showing for years, and they could never find cancer. And then another friend of hers, who was at the time like 76 and was a bodybuilder, had a stroke, had 2 major heart attacks, and she was back lifting weights, and she swore by this drink.
Mm,
And you only need to take like 1 shot a day of
yeah.
it. And I even put my dad on it before he passed away, and my stepmom, who had shingles really bad, and it was just amazing what it did. And it doesn't have grapefruit juice or grapefruit in it. So if people are on blood pressure,
Mhm.
like I started getting white coat syndrome, which I had never had before, and then I started taking this drink, and it calmed it right down.
Oh, wow.
So,
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to definitely recommend that. And I'm sure, any of that stuff, we probably have it here out in California because, San
well,
Diego's a pretty healthy
Genesis,
city.
it is, but Genesis is made by Symmetry, and you can either like go on their website, or you can go through me. The nice thing about that, and I don't recommend it to a lot of people, but only people that I know, need it. But
Mhm.
and you can stop at any time.
Mhm.
It's not like you're locked into buying it for 6 months or whatever. But I swear by it. So now I've been on it for 10 years, or not 10 years,
Nice.
actually, years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. So I think I found it. Is it like a white bottle with like a
Yes.
light pink cap?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. That's the
Perfect.
one.
Awesome. Yeah,
That
I'll have
is
to
the one.
pick some of that up for her.
Yeah.
Deep
Cool.
tissue massage.
Yeah. And if you can get a deep tissue masseuse
Mhm.
in that, because that starts making you feel better, and it starts working your muscles
Yeah.
and everything on that. She does need to have that done.
Okay.
And then, she just, because what's happening right now is so many people, and I got in that funk too. Your hair was messed up, and you just didn't care because you're just struggling to get out of bed and try to walk, or, whatever. And so she has to start, taking care of herself again. So, get her nails done, get a pedicure, different things like that, get a makeover, get her hair done,
Yep.
so that she wants to start looking good again.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Have your
Yeah.
wife take her out to do these things.
Oh yeah, yeah. My wife, the last time she was out here, it's kind of funny, but the last time she was out here, my wife went to go take her to, get a pedicure because she has these I don't know why. She was wearing these like big like bell bottom like pants. She's like tripping over them. So we got her these like kind of like
Oh,
kind of like joggers where it's like cinched up
right.
at the ankle so she's not tripping over her pants.
Oh, that's
And
good.
then
Yeah.
she took off her shoes and socks, and I swear her toenails, it was like a velociraptor. We're like, Mom, what are you doing? Like, you got to get these
Oh,
cut. So my wife took her
yeah.
to the nail salon, got
Good.
her a pedicure and everything, and she loved it. So it was, yeah, it's great. So
Well,
um,
plan on it again because the more she can start, you know, doing that and start feeling like herself again, that
mhm.
helps
Yeah,
so much.
definitely. Awesome. All right.
You know, get it. When's the last time she got her hair cut?
I think
Take her
she,
somewhere.
yeah, I think my wife got her hair done the last time she was out here too in the summer as well, and
Yeah,
yeah, she felt great. So yeah,
yeah,
I think she's already got plans to do that for her this over the next 2 weeks while
good,
she's here. So, because my wife
good.
is like super girly and
Ah,
yeah, so
huh?
she loves all that stuff. So. Um, awesome. All right. Well, I really appreciate that, all that insight, because that'll definitely help and, us trying to figure out how to live together and, help her out as much as possible. Um, all right. Well, I don't want to, suck up your guys' whole night. I did have some other questions about the house, so I can get this over to the underwriters and, hopefully we can get this approved. As far as like the inside of the house, so just kind of take me on like a virtual tour, right? Like we walk in, the front door.
You walk in the front door and you're going to see straight ahead the staircase going upstairs. My husband started putting oak treads down, so that kind of added to it. To the right is what we call the parlor, which my husband put down black and white marble there. There is a fireplace there, which they turned into electric right there. But
No, it's got an
oh,
insert.
oh, it's got an insert, so it could still be wooden. But there is a bay window right there, with the bench seats, so it overlooks the main street, which is nice. See all the pretty houses
Mhm.
and everything on that.
New windows.
And we put new windows in 10 years ago.
Is that all throughout the house?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
The roof's less than 3 years old on all the buildings, which is nice. And painting is the same for the house on the outside.
Oh, exterior was
Okay,
done
so
3 years ago?
less than 3,
Less
like
than
2.5
3 years.
now. hmm
Okay.
And so then over to the left, when you walked in the door, was an office. And it has paneling and it has bookcase and it's got a small closet. So I always said that could be also another bedroom because there's a half bath right around the corner from there. And that room has never been used at all. So the carpet's primo. You've had plastic on it forever.
Hmm.
And then going past the staircase is going downstairs to the basement.
Okay.
Now that basement, it's a very dry basement. The drywall was taken out of it before we got the house. But we have our washer and dryer down there. My husband has fenced in the areas or framed it in. So we have a brand new toilet down there and a half sink. The half sink hasn't been put up, but it's got the plumbing for that. And then he kind of framed how he wanted the rooms, but that can always be changed if someone wants to use the basement. But like I said, I set it up for just in case with the tornadoes that, we'd be safe. So I had a couch down there and,
Okay.
and like I said, it still has the flooring there, but of course it's just, that needs to be replaced, whatever people want to do. If they're going to use the basement, they may use it for storage. Who knows,
Yeah. Got it.
But, and we put in a new dry sink down there too by the washer dryer. So then you'd come back up the stairs, and then over to the right is a hallway which meets the parlor and the dining. Dining room is sunken down, and we did red onyx all over the flooring. I don't know if you've ever seen red onyx, but normally it's in high-end hotels just on fireplaces. And I saw a slab of it, and one of the guys said, "You won't be able to afford it." So my husband dared me, so I found it on, of all things, eBay.
Oh, wow.
And so we were able to make a deal, and so it's beautiful.
Nice.
And
It's like a
then,
marble kind of
yeah.
look, right?
No. So it is bright burgundy with colors of orange,
Oh, okay.
violet, lime green in it is just spectacular.
Nice.
And that has also a bay window that looks out to the backyard.
Okay.
So then you come back out of that hallway, and if you go straight down the hallway is the mother-in-law room, bedroom and bathroom that overlooks the street. It's a full
Okay.
bath.
Okay. Wall Street. That's a full bath. Okay. All right.
And when you come out of that, if you go to the left, then that's the door to the garage, which is a 2-car garage.
Okay.
Then come back out of that, go back to the right, and then there'll be an open space, which is your kitchen, which is open floor plan. And that actually has cherry wood cabinets in it. And we were just getting ready to finish putting all the new counters in. We have a beautiful marble island in the center, but that will need new flooring because we never got to that for the new flooring. But again, it's going to be whatever people.
The kitchen will need new flooring, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And you said you were so are the cabinets newer, and then you're just haven't gotten around? Okay.
No, the cabinets are the original expensive cherry wood. They were
Okay.
too nice to paint over or do whatever. So, but we did put in a new island with a new marble on top of it, and then we have counters. We just haven't finished the last part of the counter, and we have a stainless double sink to put in there too. So,
got it. Are you
that,
guys?
That with all that. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask. Is that something like you guys have the materials? Like, are you planning to put it in before you sell, or if we came in and we're like, hey, we'll just we'll take it as is, and then we can finish up, however we need to finish up.
Absolutely, yeah. We
Okay.
we would leave the material for you because we bought it for the house.
Okay.
So, yes.
All right.
Yeah, so it's a double stainless sink, and so we have the rest of the counter that just needs to be put in. So we have the expense, so
Yeah, got it. Okay, all right.
And then so in that wide open space, if you go to the left, is a step down, and that's our family room. And it's got the brown wooden beams above, which is really kind of nice. Mm-hmm. And then we put in French doors to the sunroom out there, which was my exercise room. Mm-hmm. And that overlooked the pool and the whole backyard. And that has a sliding glass doors to the backyard. Besides the kitchen has sliding, and those were new. So those. Okay. And we have recessed lighting. That's another thing too. So.
Okay.
Oh, and in the family room, it's a wood burning rock fireplace, and it has built-in on both sides bookcases. So that makes it really nice and toasty,
Yeah, got it. Okay. All right. Okay. What about so the kitchen for the most part is original to the build, but it's the really nice cherry wood cabinets, and then the countertops
Mm-hmm.
are new, but those aren't finished being put in yet. Appliances,
Mm-hmm.
those you said those are all stainless?
So the stove is stainless, and so is the dishwasher.
Okay, got it. What about the refrigerator?
The refrigerator is just we just never got to it. We just have my black one that we'll
Okay.
probably take with us. So
Okay. All right, so we'll need that. Is there a built-in
mhm.
microwave?
Yes,
Okay. Is that stainless?
and it yes.
Okay. All right. And then
And that I'm going to be honest with you, that one that came with it, and it still works.
mhm,
So we never had to replace it.
got
I'm
it.
not even sure that we used it. But the
Okay.
Genair stove that they had, they let someone else move in and they destroyed it.
Mm,
They just, so anyway,
got
so
it.
that's why we had to put it in that, and that's why we built an island around it, so it's a
Okay.
slide in.
All right. All right. Were you guys doing most of the work yourselves, or are you guys hiring out a lot of the work to contractors?
No, my husband's very handy being a farm boy, and
Yeah.
he has machines and stuff like that, so he knows.
Yeah, and
And
being a mechanical
being an
engineer.
engineer, he can do, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay. All right. Um, what about the
You ready to go upstairs
bathrooms?
now? So there was a half bath in that hallway before the mother-in-law's behind that one office.
Mhm.
And so that probably because it has the pink toilet in it.
Mm,
And we had bought a vanity originally that we were going to put in there and change. And we replaced almost all the toilets except for that one and then the mother-in-law's, which had the pink tub and the pink. But it's retro. And I mean, it looks really cool in the
mhm.
mother-in-law's suite.
Got it.
It just works because it's right off the main room, which is still in the bedroom itself. So
Mhm.
my mother really loved it when she'd come to visit. And that room has only been used 3 or 4 times, so that carpet's all great too.
Okay.
The family room, which is small, but that I wasn't used to having beige carpets, and I got beige carpets like a dummy because my mother-in-law had said pick something light, and I'm like, well, because I was going to darker, and I should have because of being around, the weathers. But anyway, but that's no big deal because that's easy to match.
Mhm.
So, and then when you go upstairs, like I said, my husband's been busy, and he had cut beautiful oak tread, and so we just have a few more pieces we need to add for that, but we can always leave that too, to walk up. And then it's a small hallway, and that carpet will need to be, of course, redone because, you walk upstairs.
Mhm.
And then over to the right is an incredible office because think about, what a doctor would have anyway with the big
Yeah.
oak desk built in, and he had a gun room right there too. And then right off of that same room is another room where he had kept all his files, but it's all built in. So I kept a lot of my handbags
Mm,
and different things in all the cubicles back there. So that's really
nice.
kind of cool. It's all oak. And it's all oak, trimmed in oak.
Okay.
And so then when you come out of that is the first bedroom, and that's a really nice, and it's got a big closet to it, and the window overlooks the pool area in the backyard. And then there's the bathroom, which is a full bathroom, right there, and my husband had put in new tile in that. It still has the sliding glass doors for the tub and shower, So, I mean, but again, we put in a new toilet for that.
And it's cherry wood.
Well, that's the master
Yeah.
bathroom. Oh, I'm not there yet.
No.
And so then on the other side of the bathroom is the other guest bedroom. Now, both those bedrooms have only been maybe 2 or 3 times used, so the carpet's impeccable there. You know,
Okay.
and the office, I believe, if you just like steam clean it, that's good. You know, and we had those rooms all closed off when we never used them. You know, most of the rooms they were closed off. And then you walk into our big master suite. So
Okay.
then there's a hallway, and then over to the left is the gorgeous bathroom, which is all cherry wood cabinets, double sink, got a jacuzzi tub. Your wife would love this. There's a vanity built in, and it's got natural lighting.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, and then it has the big strobe lights, so you can sit there, you know, and do your makeup. And then there's a separate shower. And then my husband had put all new flooring in that.
In
Then
the bathroom itself, or like also
yes,
like the tile
no,
in
in
the
the
shower?
bathroom, no,
Okay.
no, in the bathroom. Then, and now you come back out of that, you go to the left, and then there's the big bedroom. Well, over to the left is a full walk-in closet, which is my husband's, which is incredible. Now, what I always wanted to do, because it backs up to the shower,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for plumbing, I was always wanted to do a stackable washer and dryer, so if people didn't want to go down to the basement, they could do it right there, because there's plenty of room in that closet. So
Nice.
then in the middle of the bedroom is a fireplace that is on both sides, so there's a sitting area behind that. And then the first part is where we had our bed. And then there is a separate sunroom attached to that overlooks the swimming pool in the back area. And my husband had built like a bench around there so you could sit out there and overlook. We had moved it out because we were redoing that room a little bit. So that sunroom would need some sprucing up just a little bit, you know, like putting the bench back, you know. And then we had cushions.
Flooring.
Yeah, and it needs flooring. But
Yeah.
that's a smaller area, and that's easy to do, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just really nice to overlook your back area, because then you can kind of see the forest area on one side, and straight ahead past the pool and all of that. You can see, you know, the timber straight ahead for that. So then you come back through that door, and then on the other side where I said there was the fireplace and then a sitting area, which was dual, then my closet. My closet is huge. So the doctor's wife, she must have gone to a lot of charity events, because there's places for your evening gowns, there's places for your furs, there's places for your shoes.
Oh, wow.
You know, there's drawers built in. It is incredible. And again, that carpet's good because, you know, we moved in and then I had my stroke, so I couldn't get back there, obviously. So, and there's a window on the side of that, so that takes up, you know, part of the garage space above, just to give you an idea. So, you know, you got 2 full-size walk-in closets where, you know, the woman's is just incredible. I mean, actually, you could take everything out and that could be a separate bedroom for someone. You know?
Nice.
So, and that ends the upper. So.
Nice. Okay. All right. Perfect. No, I appreciate you know, kind of.
And like I said, yeah, you know, like I said, the bedroom will need new carpet, you know, with the hallway. It's only because, you know, we used it all the time, so.
Got it. Okay.
So basically, there's just, you know, the family room, which is small, the hallway upstairs, which is small, and then our bedroom. Those are the ones that are going to need carpeting.
Okay.
But like I said, it's easy to match, and maybe people want to put tiles some places. Who knows?
Yeah. Got it. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds like a beautiful, beautiful house.
Oh yeah. We fell in
Um,
love with it, so right
yeah,
away, and it had, it had issues because it had been neglected. So we started working on it.
yeah,
But our young real estate agent couldn't believe it. He goes, "I'll show you more houses." And my husband goes, "What are you thinking?" I go, "I like it." I go, "What about you?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's got a lot of potential."
yeah. Nice. Yeah, it sounds great. Um,
It is. It's
okay.
space.
So, and I appreciate you kind of giving me the whole tour, the grand tour, so to speak, and kind of walking me through, room by room and everything. So, I just want to kind of understand, like let's say you guys weren't gonna move and you were gonna keep the house, right? And
Hmm.
let's say you won, a sweepstakes at Lowe's, and they're like, "Congratulations, you're the 100,000th customer this week, and for that, we're gonna give you, $100,000 check. The only caveat is you have to use it on updating the house." What are the
Hmm.
things? Yeah, I know some of the things you'd mentioned, but like, what's the
Oh,
list?
we would finish the kitchen. We'd
Cut.
finish the kitchen, of course.
Flooring in the kitchen.
Yeah, new flooring in the kitchen. I mean, that's the only thing, and probably get my stainless steel refrigerator to match all the
Mhm.
pieces. And we had put in a ceiling fan over the stove,
Mhm.
which was really nice, and it's got the stained glass things. I will tell you the other chandelier that's there. I was always going to get the stained glass globes to put over that to match, the ceiling fan. But I think it's important in the kitchen to always have a fan over the stove.
Mhm.
So, that's right in the middle. So that was a nice Hunter fan that we put in, top
Okay.
of the line. Um, I'd do that, and I'd probably finish the basement just because, we started in on it. Um,
New floor coverings upstairs.
yeah, and new carpet in the bedroom, and of course the hallway. That my husband said that. Um, and then we were always like, we got doors that we were gonna put to go down to the basement. Like the French door. We would put that, and I was gonna do it in the office. That was just to update it.
Mm,
So.
okay. Got it. All right.
And
Perfect.
then we'd probably work on the deck in the back, that's it. So
Oh, okay. Got it. How big is that deck?
that's small. That
Okay.
first part, this first little part is small right here
Yeah.
that you walk out. So what's the sizing on that?
Probably 12 by 15.
Yeah, 12 by 15. And then on the other side of the pool, going down the way. And again, people may want to re-landscape. I mean, the
Mhm.
concrete around the pool and the backyard by the garage. Oh, well, we didn't even get to the garage, so we haven't
Mhm.
gone to the outbuildings yet.
Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah, let's talk there's a lot here to talk about. Okay, so let's talk about
Yeah.
the
Okay,
separate
so the
buildings.
separate garage, right, because that was a two-car garage with new windows. The separate garage, you said what, 3 cars could get in there?
Mm-hmm.
3-car garage. It has infrared heat, so it's a great man's cave to work on things. And we put a new door there, pedestrian door, and we put a new windows in there too. And that has, of course, the new roof, and it was painted to match the rest of the house.
Okay. Got it. All
And
right.
then you walk down the stairs, and then they had a summer kitchen there. We put a new roof on that. And that was just screened, and it has hooked up water because they had a sink in there. Of course, we turned the water off on that. And I was always going to put windows in it and make a separate, building in there because that could be a great, extra bedroom for the summer for people or, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
And
like a little granny flat.
there's and then there's a smaller like dollhouse building there. And that's where we keep all our shovels and different things like that, and awnings and different things.
Okay.
And that's really nice, and that's in great shape too.
Got
So
it. Okay. All right. Perfect. Is there anything else that I haven't asked about that you guys would want to know if you were buying? Good, bad, indifferent?
no, I think with this house, because we haven't painted it for a while on the inside, so the people wouldn't like the colors maybe.
Okay.
I have like a poppy in the kitchen, but it's great with the dark wood going into the family room with the dark beams, going across, and people
Mhm.
liked that with the rock fireplace, and upstairs bedroom was a rock fireplace in it. There's just so much personality in this house.
Yeah.
And then when we put in the French doors to my gym area, which is all windows, we didn't stain that yet because we weren't sure if we were gonna lighten up the beams, the
Mhm.
darker woods,
Yeah.
So I mean, again, that's a quick paint, big deal, So the house on the inside, hasn't been painted in the rooms, but it's pretty. Like when you walk in, it's kind of an eggplant when you first walk into the hall room. So it's soft, and then we go
Mhm.
into some of the burgundies with the grays.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't have any bright colors that you're like, oh my God, why did they do that?
Yeah. Got it. Okay. All right. Um, okay. Well, so everything that you guys, and I appreciate that, everything you guys have been giving me, I've been putting straight into the system here. And so that goes
Mhm.
back to the underwriters. It's really, they're going to pull a report on it that'll tell them pretty much everything that they
So
need to know.
you'll have to tell the reporters too, where people are messing up is they're going behind our house down the blocks, which
Mhm.
we had talked to some other real estates and people, and they're like, you can't use those comps at all. The house is on the other side of 56th Street.
46.
Well, yeah, you don't want 46, but that's what I'm saying, down that way. You want to go more on the 56th side because that's where the bigger houses were built. And,
Oh,
most of
by
the
Fall
houses,
Creek?
even in our, yes, Fall Creek area, yeah, because
Got
that's
it.
what our houses are. So
Okay.
that's why a lot of times they'll be like that. And you'll see on the most houses around this neighborhood do not last more than a week before an
Yeah.
offer is put in. And it
Okay.
doesn't really matter what shape they are in, because see, we have an elementary school right around the corner, and we have Cathedral High School, which is just the next block down, which is a very private, expensive school that everyone wants their kids in it, especially for sports.
Got it.
So,
Okay. Yeah, I think,
and then we have a gated community on the other side.
yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah, the only thing with the stuff across the 56, right, is, some of those will have like riparian rights, with the creek there.
mhm.
Um, okay, and you got the golf course up there.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Let's
Um,
say we've had people before that have sent us letters or stopped by earlier on and wanted to buy our house.
yeah,
So and we weren't ready because my husband was working in town. So
I gotcha. Okay.
and some were even willing to wait.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Just out of curiosity, I mean, like, if it was all, if all the things that you guys would do to it were finished, right, and it was ready to
Uh-huh.
go on the market, and there wasn't anything else that needed to be done, I mean, what do you think it would sell for?
Probably around 6.
6. Okay.
Mhm. Because houses, I mean, it's definitely going to be a strong 5, but houses like this with having that much acreage and having
Mhm.
it done like that and in nice neighborhoods, I mean, you hear the birds, no one's having loud parties. No one's racing up and down the street. You're going to get into a bidding war. And, you know, perfect example was a house around the corner that their basement was wet and damp and everything, and they had an auction, and this guy wanted it so bad because his wife grew up around there, and they were from Michigan, and he went way over everything, and no one else got a bid.
Mm.
So, you know, like I said, they're crazy. They, you know.
Yeah,
You would
gotcha.
just have to see. You just have to see the neighborhood and
Yeah.
understand the
Okay.
whole area.
All right. Is there anything that I haven't asked you guys that you might need help with?
I don't know. Do you have a semi bar
Have
to move furniture? I'm
a
just
semi?
kidding.
We don't have a semi, but you know, we in the past we have worked with sellers and helped them out with like, you know, movers and that type of stuff. So yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely
No,
some
I
stuff.
mean, yeah.
Um,
No.
got it. Okay. All right.
No, we just need someone to love the house and see the vision, and you know.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. All right. Well, let me do this. Like I said, I sent all
Oh
this over
wait,
to the.
Larry's gonna stay. Hold on.
Oh,
And it's where I've also thought about renting this, so go through, get the flooring replaced, put it up on the rental market and stuff. And it's probably a $3,700 to $4,000 a month rental.
okay. Got it. Um,
And that actually, with that Cathedral High School,
mhm.
that's actually very favorable to a lot of people that have kids going there. So they may have their favorite house somewhere else in Indiana, and they just want to rent a house for a year or two while the kids go into high school there.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's how people are so crazy because, you know, they'll live on the other side of town and everything, but, you know, they want their kids to go to the school, you know, for athletics or, you know, just for academics. And they, you know, they can't find nice houses.
Yeah.
And this is within walking distance. In fact, the next block over, they can just walk through this one path and they're right there to school.
Mm,
So,
got it. Okay. Okay. Well, let me do this. Let me run back there to them and just kind of check in, see what they've come up with so far. I'm going to put you on a brief hold. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any like super fancy like hold music or anything like that, so it'll just be
good.
the two of you. But I'll just call for you when I get back, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, 1 second.
Mhm.
All right. Did I lose you?
I see.
Dangerous and irresponsible move. And I think you have to, when you peel back the onion, what's the reason for it? One is, I think.
Well, I hope Trump does bring peace to the Ukraine.
So they can have permanent war. And that's
What's going on since Ukraine went over and the bombing Russia last couple of days since Biden
Lowered the threshold for nuclear engagement.
really cool.
they know the end of.
What do you mean, cool?
Well, lower meaning he's not going to threaten that, right?
No, he
raised it up then.
his
That's
tolerance is lowered.
Well, so he's mad.
Yes.
Okay. So it rose up and. I know I saw a headline like last night that they were afraid that a war might break out, you know, worldwide. And if that happens, then Biden can stay in. It's before January.
I see an indication that there's
Mr. Biden that's hiding behind a palm tree.
It's really reassuring. Now, when you should look at the headlines in Sweden, where people are stockpiling food, people are concerned about a Russian attack on trees. People are freaking out in Europe because of this.
Well, why are the NATO countries worried about it? Russia's not with NATO or the Ukraine.
their plan hasn't worked. This is ultimately the fact, Laura. This isn't going to really on the ground. This is a war of attrition. Russia has more arms, a greater industrial base than Ukraine does, and ultimately more people.
Hey, little bikes.
Proof their foreign policy, but I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think it's going to affect it measurably. I think Trump's going to get peace with this thing on behalf of the Biden administration.
Senator, thank you very much. Good to see you tonight. And coming up, the Dream Team, Vivek, Elon, about to change Washington. Everyone here is scared. Everyone's worried. What's going to happen to us? Well, we have all the details on how they're going to do it.
There are some things that were better together.
Trying to go for supper.
Yeah, where do you want to go? Well, Kaplingers is closing in 28 minutes. Don't they close at 8?
So you can that one.
Carl's Jr.
Yeah, what time do they close inside? Yeah, okay.
Well invested, well protected.
Sell it to Courtney. What's selling it to Courtney?
Supplements that don't contain more than 12 minerals. You can't get much benefit from 8 to 10 minerals when your body needs at least 60 minerals to be healthy. But try Immuno 150 with its 70 minerals, 80 other nutrients. I'm Elmer Heinrich, celebrating my 90th birthday as I make this commercial, with no dementia, no health problems of any kind, and the flexibility I had when I was 60. Now, I've consumed Immuno 150 for many years. Still drive a golf ball 220 yards, work out, bench press 100 pounds, run, jump, and do about anything I did years ago. I know it's because of the 70 mineral. Now look at the 2 videos on our website listed on the screen and consider placing an order online or call our toll-free number. And by all means, check the number of minerals in the product you take. You know, you can be just as sharp as
What's the 3 words that you would use to describe Lindsay B? She's filling out her form for Universal International. Would you
know her or something.
I know, but just seeing her on stage, would you say she's vivacious?
Is Trump, like laser-measured floor liners, the underseat swords. No drill mud flaps. Impact liner with shock-absorbing rings. Top it off with the alloy. Find these American-made gifts or get a gift card at WT.com.
When you order a keepsake frame, your photo is professionally printed and your frame is hand-assembled here at our studio in Lexington, Kentucky. Hi, I'm Adam White, founder and CEO of Keepsake. We've made the Keepsake app ridiculously easy. It only takes a couple minutes to frame your favorite moment. And when you do, you're going to love the frame that shows up at your door. We've framed over 1 million photos and would love the opportunity to frame one for you. Download the free Keepsake app and start framing today.
TheraVital Advance has been such a game changer for me. TheraVital Advance increases your body's own youth hormone, reduces wrinkles, and promotes weight loss. I see such a difference in my skin. I noticed fewer wrinkles. My skin looked healthier. It was easier to get lean. I literally shed a few pounds in the first couple of weeks. It does give me that feeling of just being radiantly alive. TheraVital Advance, the #1 anti-aging therapy in America.
Elon's efficiency agenda?
Elon Musk, he's spitballing ideas that have never been tried in government.
Jesse goes inside Musk clues tonight on Prime Time.
All right, Katie, Larry, you there?
Yes.
All right. Sorry about that. This one's a tough one. I actually don't have good news or bad news for you just yet. There were a couple other questions that I somehow missed in the mix here that they had for me. So I apologize about that. So I know the home was built in 1979. Has the electrical been updated?
Why would you need to update electrical from 1979?
Well, I'm just wondering like what the panel looks like, you know.
Oh, it's in great shape.
It's a 200 amp panel with
Yeah.
copper wire.
With copper. Okay, got it.
And
All right, cool.
And it's Romex, so.
Okay. All right, perfect. And all right. And then what about the HVAC system? Has that been updated at all?
Yes.
2 units, one in 2014, and the other may be original to the house, but it works.
Okay.
Yeah, we've not had any
The
problems.
one that's original to the house is for the upstairs.
Okay.
The newer one is for the main level.
Which is what you want anyway.
Okay. Perfect. And then any plumbing issues that you're aware of?
No, not
Okay.
at all.
All right. And the water heater, when how old's that?
That was just what?
Yeah, that's probably 7 years.
Yeah, at the
6 or
most.
7 years.
Yeah, probably
Okay.
6.
Okay. And I'm just out
And
of
it's
curiosity.
only the 2 of us. So,
Yeah, just the
it's
2 of you
not like
guys.
there's a household. Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Okay. And like what's it typically run for you guys? Like if you guys are gonna, hire somebody to come in and do a deep clean, like what do you guys, or painting, like what have you guys spent on that in the past?
We did it. We did, the painting. I mean, a deep cleaning's going to be whatever you guys want to do
Yeah.
or whomever. Like
Yeah.
now they have maids that it's incredible. I mean, if we were staying here, they'll clean your whole house for like $99 a month. You just have to sign with them for a year. So,
Mm.
I mean, there's so many great deals out here. And again, it's going to be whatever you guys want to do, and and the painting, I mean, that's up to them. They may love our colors. They may want to just
Yeah.
wash the walls down and say, yay, we love it, or you guys may love it. I mean,
Yeah, totally.
so.
Okay. All right.
And
Well,
again, like I said, that's people's choices. That's that's nothing we have to worry about.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
we're
for
selling
sure.
the bones of the house. So,
Well, and it's where Indiana labor is quite a bit cheaper than California labor.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean,
I know that
Indianapolis is like our number one market. That's our primary market. We're doing transactions
Oh,
in.
well,
Yeah.
then you would know. You would know
Yeah.
what the labor is.
Yeah, so
So,
we're pretty in tune with it for the most part. It's just a more of a unique style of house, and so anything, once you kind of go outside of, the standard run-of-the-mill style of homes, things
yeah, it's
obviously
not a ranch
change.
or anything boring. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and here's the deal, right? Like we're a creative company, we're a creative real estate company, and I really want to try to make something make sense. Um, I'm going to bring the rest of this back to them and tell them, kind of where we're at. But I think, for a cash offer, you know, I don't know if a cash offer where we end up being the buyer is going to be the best fit for a win-win situation. I mean, I can tell you there's always a price that they would be willing to buy a property at. But usually if it's because it's so large, once you have that type of square footage, like everything just compounds, right?
So, and that's fine. And I will tell you that once you guys give us the best and final offer, that's the only shot you're going to get with us.
Yeah.
So, a month from now or 2 months, people have tried to come back. And I'm like, no, I've wasted all this time with you guys. Told you everything, up front so that you would know. And people will say, oh, well, yeah, we're going to do that. So, like I said, if you feel they're not even going to come close to the offer, then we'll just end it right now.
Yeah,
we don't have to go any further.
Yeah,
So,
I'm just saying, I'm trying to be, I appreciate you're transparent, right? Like, and I'm just trying to be as transparent as you've been with me, with you guys.
right.
I'm not saying that we can't figure out, a different scenario. I'm just
But we
saying,
won't be renting it out or letting you guys rent it out without buying it out. So we're
yeah,
going to
that's
sell
that's
it
yeah,
right
that's
out.
not
So,
yeah, that's not what I'm talking about, right?
okay.
Basically, the So when we're buying properties, right, cash, we're looking at it through the lens of like fixing and flipping. I don't think this makes the most sense
Exactly.
as a rental property, quite frankly, because there's going to be a small, you know, small group of people, right? Like,
Well,
so you're limited on
no, I mean,
renters.
if you had, so there's hospitals close by. So if you had 4 traveling nurses or 5 traveling nurses, who wouldn't want to have a place that eventually has a swimming pool in the summer outside, or can have parties in the backyard, just to get away from it all, and it's all fenced in, people can't see,
Yeah.
privacy. I mean, and if not, then you could have parties inside because you have a formal dining room if you want, and you've got a separate mother-in-law place, which a lot of people love because people have elderly parents that they have to move in, So
Yeah.
there's a lot
I,
you can do with that. So.
yeah, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying it's
Mhm.
not probable from the standpoint of
Yeah.
a rental property, right? So
Right.
basically,
Mhm.
the alternative option, would be, just fixing and flipping. But when we buy something cash for a fix and flip, all the numbers have to pencil out. I don't know that that's going to be the
Right.
best win-win.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Now,
saying.
what I
If
do.
it's Go ahead.
Sorry. What I was going to say, what I do think, however, is, as a creative company, we have a program that, I'm really hoping that I can get the property approved for. It's called our concierge service. And, I didn't mention it on the front end, just quite frankly, because, they're very selective on the properties. And I didn't know anything about the condition. And that, after kind of our long conversation, you explained the condition and everything. They're super selective on what gets approved just because it is really labor and resource intensive for us. I'd say about 1 out of 50 of the properties that come across our desk are actually approved for it. And so, I want to check with them to see if this would work for that. But basically, here's how it works, right? So, just from doing so many transactions in Indianapolis, we have a really big network of realtors and other investors that we work with. And a certain
Mhm.
percentage of the properties that come on our desk, they just don't fit our criteria for whatever reason, but they would be a really great fit for another investor that has a different business model than us, or even somebody that plans
Mhm.
to live there. But I mean, like a lot of the investors we work with, they do a lot of different things like assisted living facilities, sober living facilities, all different types of things, right? And a lot of those
Mhm.
investors, they're really good at managing those styles of business and being landlords.
Mhm.
But what they're really not good at is sourcing and finding the properties. And, because they don't enjoy the sales and the marketing involved just because it is really expensive
Mhm.
and time consuming. They would just rather,
Mhm.
just buy a bunch more, assisted living facilities and manage them or whatever it is they are, right? And so the
Mhm.
way something like this would work is we would basically agree to a net price with you guys where we would still pay all of the closing costs. You guys wouldn't have to fix anything. Anything that was requested to be fixed by the buyer before we close, we would take care of all of that. And then we would just simply resell our contract to that third party and we'd earn our fee from the buyer. So essentially, the experience and the net result would be pretty much the same as a cash offer. And just to be clear, we're not agents, so we're not representing you as a realtor. We would just simply be reselling our contract. And I know most people don't care how we make money as long as they get every penny that they're promised. But we would just earn our fee from the buyer and handle all the heavy lifting for you guys. And you guys can, go on to, Nebraska, Arizona, wherever you're going, and sit back and really just collect the check. You get all the speed and convenience of a cash offer, but this type of deal allows us to get you a much higher price than what a lot of other investors are even going to be remotely able to pay. Does that make sense?
So basically, you would still give us our cash offer, sign that up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's not, or you have to wait till you find someone to buy it.
No, if I can get this approved for this program, they're going to underwrite it based on what they know that the other investors that they work with, would reasonably pay for it, and we give you a net number. So if I can get them to give this the go ahead and the thumbs up, they're going to give me a net number from this program, and that's going to be net to you. So we would, if it works for everybody and you guys are like, yeah, this sounds good, and we can stomach that, then we would enter into contract, and then we would start the process.
So when you say stomach that tells me right away that you're going to lowball us with an
No,
offer.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying whatever the
okay.
offer is. If you're like, yeah, I can live with that. Like, that sounds perfect.
So we'd still do our closing. You'd still give us our money, and then you guys worry about everything else.
Yeah, the way it would work is typically, especially with the holidays and everything, typically on properties like this, it's usually like a 90-day turnaround time. And then at the end of that, and we can close sooner, but it's no later than like 90 days. Once we would market the property to our investor buyers and our network, and, and sometimes on the MLS and that type of stuff. And then when we identify a buyer, we bring them all the way through to the closing table. We handle any repairs that are necessary. So if they're like, hey, we're bringing a loan for this, and
but
the
that
loan
shouldn't concern us.
No, exactly. It doesn't concern you at all, right? But I'm just saying, like, if let's say we find a buyer and they're like, one of our investors is like, oh, this is perfect. Me and my wife have been looking for our primary house, and this actually fits what we're looking for. We want to move forward with it, and we're going to get an FHA or a VA loan or conventional loan. And let's say the lender is like, hey, we can approve this, but the countertop needs to be put on, and this needs to be fixed, and that needs to be fixed. That doesn't come out of your pocket at all. It comes out of our side. We foot the bill for all of that. We make sure all of that gets fixed and taken care of, so the lender is satisfied, and you guys still get the net number that we agreed to.
So basically what you're saying, we don't get the money until you find a buyer.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. We, like I said, it would be like a 90-day turnaround time. We would bring this out to our network. And we have a national network as well as some international investors that we work with as well.
So in parallel, can we still try and sell the house then?
No.
We would be in contract, yeah.
Yeah, we would have a contract. And remember, this is something, it is very labor intensive and time intensive for us. So we're spending money marketing the property and bringing this out to our network and everything. And in some cases, we might even start, like cleaning up some things and that type of stuff. We're not going to be doing any like big repairs or anything like that, but if we have to hire like a cleaner so like everything is spruced up, or if we have to like, hey, it snowed and, we need to kind of like, get the walkway shoveled or the driveway, shoveled, that type of thing. We handle all of that stuff. So we would be in contract with you. So you wouldn't be able to sell it to anybody else during that time.
So in the contract, so then what happens if you can't find a buyer in that 90 days?
That's a great question, and I'm glad you asked. And this is the reason why we are so selective on what properties we actually approve for this program, because our interests are aligned on this, right? Because we don't get paid unless you get paid. And we're going to have several people working on your file at any given time. We're spending, like I said, money on marketing, and a lot of time and energy goes into this process. So we make sure on the front end that the deal works. So we're confident that we can get the deal done and deliver the result.
Okay, so again, what happens if the person backs out?
Yes.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So what happens then?
Yes. So the only thing that could make this not work really would be if there was some sort of crazy like title issue that we weren't aware of, or if there was like a significant defect or new information about the property that was later found out that changed the dynamics of the deal. This is an extremely rare occurrence. I've only seen it happen a handful of times with those types of things. And we have a really high success rate with these deals and an excellent track record with this service. So I don't really see a world where that happens. These guys are really good at doing what they do.
Well, see what's going on.
Okay. All right.
See what they want to
Okay.
Want to
All right.
offer, and we'll take it from there.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Give me a second. I'm going to put you on another hold. I'm going to run back there
Okay.
and I will be right back. Okay.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
right.
That's their way of saying, oh, we're going to screw you.
Mhm. Well, and I've also been reading what they do is when they come to close, they do the walkthrough, then they start saying, well, you didn't tell us that. You didn't tell us that. I mean, and especially like when he said to me, well, how much is it going to be to have a cleaning crew in there? How much is it painting? And it's like,
This every day.
like, and then you're like, well, Indy's your market. Well, then you should know. So it's not my problem.
Well, and the upgrading the electrical, that's the biggest bullshit thing that I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, but see, they think they're dealing. That's what makes me mad with people that haven't sold houses before or haven't lived in houses. I mean, it's like, no, I mean, I'm perfectly fine listing it once we get all the other furniture out, putting it on Craigslist like I did before, and have people from all over the United States come and buy our house, you know, or local. So, no problem to do that. But, you know, just being lazy right now, just kidding. But we've already been on this phone call for an hour and a half now. We still don't have a price. I mean, if it's not the right fix, just tell us right now. We'll be done.
Well, he didn't ever say what happens at the end of the 90 days, which what happens at the end of the 90 days is...
You wasted 3 months with these people. Yes, but here's the thing. I'm wondering if they go in and fix these things and it still doesn't go, do we have to pay for what they fixed or what, you know, that's another thing you'd have to check into.
You don't need to do that.
Hi. Hello. Hey, doll. Hey, doll.
Trump broke the Democrats so badly, they're not yelling at him anymore. They're just yelling at each other. Rosie O'Donnell doesn't even talk Trump. She's just making friends in the woods. Julie Andrews, everybody. Hi, sweetheart. Hi.
Girl, Julie Andrews.
Okay. Don't fall. Don't fall, baby. Stop. There's a lot now. It's exciting. I got my squirrel sweatshirt on for extra squirrel look. And I'm out here waiting.
All right, Katie, Larry, you there?
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate your patience here and, you know, just sticking with me through this. So congratulations. They did actually approve your property for this program, which is super exciting. This is the first one that they've actually approved for me in Indianapolis in the last probably 45, 50 days for this particular program. So let me just explain exactly what they approved. So the offer was approved for the concierge service where basically it's as is. They approved the closing to be no later than 90 days. All the commissions, closing costs, any buyer request for repairs, all of that would be taken care of by us. So the number that they're offering you is the net number to your pocket. Of course, if you have any outstanding debt on the property, that would come out of it. But other than that, it's the net number to you. Do you have that pen and piece of paper handy?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you the account number for your file. So it's VW 4058. And so the approved offer for your property for this program in its current condition is $403,500.
here he was in Brazil earlier this week.
Okay.
First sitting president to visit the
035.
to wander
Now,
into the jungle.
we were talking while you're getting the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so like through the winter here, say you guys are having driveways cleaned and sidewalks cleaned and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if no one ends up buying the property, do we have to reimburse you then for the funds that you put into it?
No. And that's our risk, right? And that's why they are so restrictive on these programs, because they know that there's never a property where we're not having to do something along the way. Even if it's just hey, we need to clean out, do a house cleaning. We need to, shovel snow. We need to, fix, like we had one where, the steps up to the front of the house was wood and it was like a hazard, and so like we had to fix the stairs, right? Like we've done these things along the way, and that's the risk that we take when we approve these properties. So when they underwrite them, they're very confident that they can get these across the finish line.
You have a legal, I do have a legal, thank you for being.
Okay.
That case has long denied.
So, well, it's where we appreciate you being at least close to what we're asking. And I think we'll go and talk about it very seriously here.
Even if Sonny Hostage doesn't respect the Trump team, ABC Network perhaps does. They're owned by Disney. They are entangled with this. This incoming administration isn't going to let companies use the airwaves for free.
So I'm going to put 90 days on it.
When do you need to have a answer back?
Yeah, so these programs, they're approved for 48 hours, just because, we don't have, unlimited capacity. So, if we, we just, there's limitations on how much we can take on.
So would you send us a contract so we can look at it?
So if you guys are ready to move forward, what we'll do is we review the agreement together. Like I go through line by line, so it'll get sent to your email, and I would review that agreement with you guys line by line, make sure any questions you have are answered and you guys know exactly what's going on, and there's nothing that, is like, oh, I didn't realize that. It's like very clear, and, you guys are comfortable, we're comfortable, and everybody's on the same page.
Okay, so you said at the beginning of this, hold on one second. So you said since they have approved this, and I just want to make sure that I understood what your wording was. So whatever needs to be repaired now is at you guys' expense.
Correct.
This is under this contract. Okay.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. So if, so let's just.
I mean, I don't see anything because, we have a warranty still on the roof and, different things like that. But I just wanted to,
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I totally get it. And here's the deal. If I'm in your shoes, I would absolutely be asking the same questions, right? Like, want to make sure, because like, we're not like, this is the reason why we're trying to sell it now and not like fix everything, because we didn't want to have to fix anything. So if we have to pay you to fix it, then like we could have just fixed it ourselves, right? Totally get all that. I understand the position, right?
Okay.
So if we were to move forward, so let's say you guys said, hey, you know what, this is great, we want to move forward, and we go through everything. We basically enter into contract. What happens is within the first 48 to 72 hours, you would get a welcome call from our transactional coordinator. What she's going to do is she's going to line up a day and time for us to get out there with our photographer so we can get pictures of the property, not only to confirm the condition as you stated it, but also, for us to be able to market it to our buyers, right? we'll then,
Mhm.
you know, we might possibly have our agent who represents us a lot of times out there with the photographer as well, and just kind of get a lay of the land so we can properly market it. And then as we're going through and we market it, let's say we get an offer, you know, that makes sense, and they're like, yeah, we want to buy it, you know, but here's the things that either our lender requires to be done, or here's what we're asking
Mhm.
to be done. Then we're going to
Mhm.
figure out and coordinate with them, either scheduling contractors to do that work. And obviously, nothing's going to
Mhm.
happen like without you guys being involved, right? It's not like, you know,
Okay.
you guys aren't going to like come back into town and be like, oh my God, they just replaced the kitchen. Like that's not happening, right? We're coordinating everything. And that work usually, most of the time, doesn't even begin until after closing. Sometimes, yeah, so there's a lot of different ways we can handle that. It
Right.
can happen right
Well,
after
and see,
closing.
and here's the thing. I mean, we have a moving truck coming this Saturday, okay?
Yep.
So we are basically filling that up that day, and we're taking off the next day because we're driving it.
Yeah.
All right. So we are already going to be gone until the 4th.
Okay.
So, you know, nothing could happen. I would want that really clear with you guys because, you know, we're going to be gone. So nothing could be done, you know, and basically when we're loading and everything, I'm not going to have time on Saturday night to clean up everything from, you know, the rooms where I have boxes and,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, stuff
And
like
you don't,
that.
and
Yeah.
that's not even required, right? Like that's something, you know, if it, you know, assuming, and I don't know how much stuff you still have left after that, but let's
Uh-huh.
assume that, you know, all your stuff was out, but you know, like when you move, I mean, my wife and I just moved 3 weeks ago. So I know when we moved out of our place, even though all of our stuff was out, there was still a bunch of like debris and, you know, stuff around that.
Exactly, and that's what I'm talking about in
Yep.
rooms. I mean, we're still going to have some stuff still left here, but I'm just
Yeah.
talking about the reason because the minute I touch back home on the 4th, I fly out to the Carolinas for my girlfriend's birthday party, and
Nice.
I'm the main cleaner, so I'm not going to be back until
Yeah, exactly. So
a week
again,
after that. So that's when I would be into cleaning. So like I said, so if you guys wanted to get in the next 2 weeks, it's not going to happen because we're not going to be
yeah.
here.
Yeah, I get you. And
So,
quite frankly, with the holiday coming up next week, like, you know, they might
uh-huh,
call, like our transaction coordinator might call you to like do the welcome call. But my
uh-huh,
guess is, because let's say, I mean, it's basically the end of the night, Wednesday. So she'd probably,
yeah,
knowing kind of her backlog, she would probably end up calling you Monday for the welcome call. And then
mhm,
realistically, with Thanksgiving being next week, I don't see them
mhm,
scheduling for photos until the following week. And that's kind of why we're asking about like cleaning costs, because you had mentioned, you know, that you guys were in the process of getting everything, you know, kind of cleaned out. Higher end homes with this size of square footage in these areas
mhm,
of Indianapolis, you know,
mhm.
it's not going to be a $99 person that's going to come in. I mean,
No,
like we've spent for properties like less than half this size, we've spent over $1,000 on like full cleaning. And so
yeah,
usually sellers with this type of property, oftentimes they have like long-term cleaners that they've been working with, and we try to patron
mhm,
those same individuals just
right,
because it does usually save us a little bit of money. You know,
mhm,
so but we'll, you know, the transaction coordinator, she would work on all that stuff, you know, to make
mhm,
sure that everything's dialed there.
mhm. Yeah, like I said, I just want to make sure that she would understand it's not going to be the next week. It'll be the week after that. So, you know, you're looking
Yep.
like 2.5 weeks or whatever, only because, I mean, it's just the luck of the draw when you guys called us, you know,
Yeah,
and we
well,
had
and
these
we know the
plans.
holidays, it's kind of crazy.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I mean, we totally get it.
Hmm. Okay. So we'll talk about it. And your number is 619-525-7132. Your name's Chris Steele.
Yep, that's
And the
it.
number is VW4058 for, oh yeah, that was the offer. Okay, yeah. So VW4058 is the file number.
That's correct. And you wrote down the net price, right? The offer.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All
That's
right.
why I started adding it to the my phone number. And I'm like, no, that's on a separate line.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, perfect. So, like I said, my mom and my dad and his girlfriend, they just got into town late last night. So I'm kind of, I'm working
Entertaining.
full time, but I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
entertaining. And so
Okay.
I'm not like going to be in the office 100% of the time. What
Mm-hmm.
would be, I know you guys want to, sleep on it. What would be the best time for us to, circle back and, put this to bed?
No, honey, I'm going to leave it up to you because you've got things to do and I've got things to do tomorrow too, and then we got the snow. And in the midst of all of this, I'm opening up a store in Arizona that I'm not even there right now. So
Oh, okay. What kind of store?
It's going to be a mixture of where people can rent booths for antiques and newer things because I have property on Andy Devine or Route 66.
Oh, nice.
So,
That's cool.
mm-hmm. So, like I said, I'm trying to pick up some odds and ends pieces that they don't have out in Arizona that, that I already made commitments to tomorrow down the way in other towns. So that's why, yeah. Because again, like I said, I didn't know you guys were going to call. So.
Yeah, for sure. Are you guys in Indy right now, right? Yeah, because you guys are loaded up. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm picking up stuff to get on the truck.
Got it.
To get in the store. So, is Friday morning okay, Larry? Do you have plans? Is that okay? Is Friday morning okay, or is that too late?
Yeah, no, Friday, like I said, 48 hours. So tomorrow and Friday. So let me see here. Now I'm on
tomorrow's Thursday.
Yep. Yeah.
So then it's Friday.
Yep. So I'm on the West Coast, so 3 hours behind
We're
you.
2 hours. Oh yeah, 3 hours because of Vegas and you guys, California.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, Friday at noon.
Noon your time would be like
noon
9 my time
there.
Yeah, that would work for me.
Okay. Well then let's plan that. I'll put that down Friday at noon.
All right, let me plug this into my calendar. And you want me to call you on the same number I called you guys on, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
That will work.
Awesome. All right. And any other questions that you guys?
So I guess so. Basically, what you're saying is so why we're still living here, which chances are, if they need to have repairs, whoever wants to buy the house, if they're getting funding, then we would let the people come in and fix whatever needed to be fixed.
So
basically.
That's it's more rare that it has to get done while you guys are still there. It has happened, but it's like it would have to be like a big thing, right? Like, and so like an example, which I know we're not going to need to do it on your house because it's already done, but like a property that we had in Joshua Tree. This one had the roof was completely shot. The lender would not fund the transaction unless the roof was replaced prior to closing, and the septic tank had a hole in it. And so those two things had to be done prior to close of escrow. But other than that, like 99% of everything else is all stuff that can get done after close of escrow. So it just has to get negotiated in with the buyer that we're going to take care of it, and then we're contractually obligated.
Right. Okay. And the only reason I was asking too is, I don't have a problem with having people come in and work on it. But, if we're not here and I still have stuff in here, I don't know these people.
Yep.
And already for Christmas, we have commitments.
Yep. Yeah, no, 100%. I totally get it. And nothing would ever happen without your guys' knowledge. Like, even for example, because, we're going to market it out to our buyers, some of our local agents that we work with and our relationships that we have. And, like I said, it might even show up on the MLS, and in an extreme rare occurrence where somebody saw that the house was for sale, a house like this, I don't see it happening, but like, you know, there's been an instance where somebody like just without even saying anything and without even calling, like drove up because they're like, oh, I want to see this house. And we always tell that our clients that we're working with, in no uncertain terms, are you obligated, expected to, or anything. If somebody ever comes up and knocks on the door, like, hey, I want to see the house that you have for sale, like you just
Mhm.
tell them like, hey, you have to call so and so, they'll take care of
Okay.
it. And you know, because we're only going to do scheduled times where we bring our vetted buyers in, so we make sure that they can
Mhm.
qualify and the whole
Mhm.
process.
Mhm. And then I guess the next thing would be, so we go ahead and we move everything out,
Hmm.
and then of course you guys would have full run to come in the house then
Hmm.
to show it, but you would let us know that someone's coming in the house to look at it.
1000%. Yeah, they would. Nobody would be
Okay.
I don't know why my brain's not functioning right now. Unaccompanied. There won't be any unaccompanied
Right.
people.
Because I just don't want people coming in and putting holes in the walls or
Oh,
whatever.
trust me,
Not that they would do that, but yeah.
that'd be worse for us than for you, because we would
I
be on the
know.
hook. We would be on the hook to take care of that. So trust me, we do
Okay.
not want that
Okay.
happening.
Good. Don't want holes in my wall.
Yep. Yeah. Nor do we. Yeah. Like I said, the reason why a lot of sellers that we work with love this program when they get approved for it is because our interests are completely aligned, right? Like it's in our
Mhm.
interest to make sure that everything is moving smoothly, because if we can't get it, you know, if something comes up like that, somebody comes in and bashes out windows and walls and stuff like that, well,
Mhm.
that's a big problem for selling it, and it also increase our costs, and we don't
Right.
make anything unless it gets across the finish line.
So basically, I'm under the assumption that the reason that this got approved is because you have potential buyers that would be interested in this.
That's one of the
So,
reasons, right? The criteria is that, you
okay.
know, it fits a criteria that we know some of our investor buyers are looking for.
Right.
It,
Okay.
the
Mhm.
condition is a high level condition. It's not, you
Mhm.
know, it's not what we would consider a fixer. Like, sure, you can do things to update it, but it's not like, you know, it doesn't need to be fully gutted and rehabbed, right? It's more
No.
cosmetic,
No.
you
No.
know,
Not at all. Yeah. Not at
exactly.
all. No.
Yeah.
No. I'd hate to see how you could improve it. I mean, in all honesty,
Well, that's
you know,
the more
I
you
mean,
were
'cause
talking, you know, I'm like, man, I really don't think, I mean, and that's why I was just kind of leveling with you before, is like, yeah, the more you tell
yeah.
me about the place, I mean, the more I don't know how much we could do. And that's why a cash offer just wouldn't really make sense. So,
Mhm. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's gonna need probably painting for people, and
yeah.
but it's just mainly cosmetics is what you need to do.
Yep.
So
But kind of like that house I was telling you about, where we put in the carpet and then they ripped it out the next day. Like this
yeah,
this is
yeah,
perfect for that, because oftentimes, like with a house like this, usually what'll happen is when they market this out, it's like, hey, here's what we got. You know, let us know kind of like what custom appointments you want. Like if you want specific paint color, let us know, so that way you don't have to repaint it after, you know, we repaint it, right?
right,
Or you know, or if we did have to
exactly.
do some flooring in a room, you know, like
Mhm,
we have another
mhm,
one in Indianapolis that the sellers had two big dogs, and they're kind of, you know, going through a divorce, personal situation, but
mhm,
in the main, there's one section of the house where the carpet is kind of beat up from the dogs. And so
mhm.
even before closing, we're going to replace the carpet just because it's going to show better. But the buyers that we're talking to were like, hey, what color do you want? Like, you know, so
Right.
yeah.
And like I said, I mean, this is an easy beige if you want to keep everything beige because you basically have a lot of rooms that don't need to have anything done to it,
Yeah.
to have it replace the carpet. So.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other
Well,
questions
thank
before
you.
I let you guys go, and we'll talk on Friday?
So we can't get a copy of the contract to review prior to the signing?
Yeah, so it's company policy. We just review it with you together. You know, if you guys are ready to move forward. So, you know,
And there's absolutely no fine print on the contract.
there's no fine print on the contract. We'll review it together. And like I said, I go line by line. Everything's written in, you know, basically third grade English, not to insult anybody's intelligence, but it's all super easy to understand. You don't need a law degree to figure it out. It's very straightforward.
Okay. Okay, because I know on a lot of purchase agreements, there's the front page, which is all pretty basic to understand, and then there's the back page that you need to have 6 lawyers look at for 4 days straight.
Yeah,
So,
you're talking about the state forms. We don't use the state forms because they are very cumbersome. These are very straightforward. It's all written in layman's terms to make it easy because, you know, we're not always talking to doctors and lawyers and engineers, right? You know, oftentimes we're talking to, you know, mechanics and, you know, not that they have a different level of understanding things, but, you know, it's easier when it's everything straightforward and, you know, layman terms. So
yeah, well, yeah, that's how you make progress.
yep. Yeah. 100%. So, but yeah, what I'll do, you know, not to be presumptive or anything, but I'll have everything ready for us when we talk on Friday morning. That way, you know, should you guys decide, you know, this feels like a good fit for you, then we can just review it. And I promise, you know, unless you guys have like a mountain of questions on Friday morning, I promise it's not going to be a 2-hour call.
And then again, I'm going to say, so at the end of 90 days, I'll do the devil advocate again, is what
happens
if no one came in with the offer?
Yeah, so we're going to have more information way before 90 days. If it's going to come to that point where like we're not going to go 90 days and then on 90th day is like, Katie, Larry, nice knowing you. Sorry, we couldn't make it work. Right? The whole time we're going through the process, we're constantly looking at, you know, it's all basically I mean, you're an engineer, right? So a lot of with engineering, you know, I mean, I don't know what part of engineering you're at, but it's like there's a lot of testing, measuring, and then retesting and measuring, right? So the whole process as we're putting it out, and this is not my department, so I'm trying to like speak to it confidently, but is, hey, we bring it out. What's the feedback? Bring it out. What's the feedback? And usually within the first 2 to 3 weeks, we know exactly what's going to happen and how it's going to play out. And if there's anything that comes up in those, you know, those first initial inquiries where people are like, I don't really see, you know, whether it's, you know, whatever it is, they're like, I don't see the value, or I think Trump's going to tank the economy, or, you know, I think Joe Biden is going to, you know, like Joe Biden authorized missiles to be used in Russia. And now we're going into World War III. And so now he's going to stop the transition of power. And so like all this crazy stuff, like, you know, does that make sense? I know I'm kind of like.
Well, so we start out at 4035 or 405. Whatever it was, 405,000, just round number.
Yeah.
And so if in, say, the first 30 days you come to us and say, hey, look, this house isn't going to sell for 405,000, it's 370,000 that it's going to sell for. Do we have an exit clause then that we can say, well, thanks, but no thanks. We're set on the 405,000.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't think you can get it, then we'll just exit.
Yeah. I mean, at that, so let's just go with that scenario, right? You know, we're like, man, we missed the mark on this and it's only going to sell like 375. You know, if that actually is the case, which I highly doubt, but let's say it was, we would come to you and we would say, hey, look, here's the data. Here's all the information that is leading us to this conclusion. So here are the options, right? It's never going to be like, ultimatum. It's going to be like, we can take our time with it, you know, and keep trying to do what we need to do to make sure that it gets across the finish line the way that it, you know, the way that we originally worked on, or say, hey, I mean, like, you guys want this to be done faster? Like, we know, you know, we have 3 offers from people. All of them are at, you know, there's a 372, there's a 373 and a 378. Like, do we want to go with any of those? And if you guys are like, nope, absolutely not, you know, of course, we're going to try to get them up as high as we possibly can. You know, but if you guys are like, nope, we're not moving on that number, like, we can't force you to like change the numbers, right? You know,
Okay.
and it also doesn't behoove us if we know in no uncertain terms, hey, it's not going to go for a dime over 370. If we know that, it doesn't make sense for us to continue investing time, money, energy, and effort into continue marketing it, because that just, you know, we know we're not going to sell it, and it's just going to cost us more money along the way. Right. So we would collaborate with you and say, hey, is there a way we can get this across the finish line? What can we do? Are you guys amenable to these offers that these buyers have brought to us? Or do you want us to tell them to go pound sand and we keep looking for that right offer?
Mm-hmm.
So then again, we're not responsible for you coming in and marketing to pay any of that back.
Not at all. No. Do you guys have debt on the property, or do you own it outright?
We only owe 24 on it now.
24,000. Okay. So let's just say, let's just call it 0. You don't owe anything. The net number of 4035, that is a net number to your bank account minus whatever that 24.5 is. And then the only other thing in the state of Indiana is the prorated taxes, right? That you pay for the year in Indiana. You pay, you pay after the fact. So whatever that prorated taxes are, it's calculated up to the day of closing. Then that would be the only thing that comes out of your side other than the mortgage balance.
Yeah, which we just paid now in November. So that was due in November.
Yeah.
The next one will be in May.
Yeah, but the title company, they'll calculate that. They'll say, you know, if it's $365 a year, they're going to say, okay, well, you've owned it for 238 days of the year. So, you know, that's what you are responsible for paying, and they'll just deduct it off of that final number. But, you know, cleaning expenses, repairs, you know, marketing fees, if we even decide, hey, we want to stage it, like whatever, photos, video, if we do a drone video of the place, whatever it is, all of that comes out of our pocket.
Okay. Okay, well, that gives us more food for thought, you know.
Absolutely.
You can tell we're thinkers. We think things out.
Well,
we can.
Yeah. Well, Larry's an engineer, so those engineers don't just, you know, it's not a snap decision. It's like, okay, let's walk through all the contingencies, what, you know, where are the things that can, you know, give us hiccups, and, you know, so I totally get it. My sister's an engineer.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, you enjoy your family, and thank you, and we'll talk to you on Friday.
Awesome. Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate you guys sticking with me for, you know, what was, you know, 2 hours. Hopefully it wasn't a grinding 2 hours, and it was at least relatively enjoyable for you guys. I had a great time chatting with you guys, and, you know, if everybody was as
hey, you're Trump people, so you're good.
Say that again?
And I said you're Trump people, and you're good, and your mom had a stroke, and you want to take care of her, so it's a win-win.
Yeah, that no, and I really do appreciate those things, and that's definitely going to be one of the first things we talk about when I get home tonight for dinner, and, you know, kind of go over some of those things. I took notes on all the stuff you were telling me, so I really appreciate that. She actually does. I don't know if you've tried this, but she it's kind of like an electric assist bike, and she's part of this group where they go on like these like 10 to 15 mile bike rides, but it's what's the it's not like a normal bike. It's kind of one where you're like sit down low. It begins with an R. I forget what it's called, but
recumbent.
Yes, a recumbent. Yeah. Yep. So she's been doing that. So we're trying to find like a good community out here in San Diego that does that type of stuff.
So she needs to check into Pure Barre.
Pure Barre?
Yeah, just Pure Barre. Yes. So and it's
It's
nationwide.
Barre, isn't it?
Oh, okay. It's kind of like I don't want to say yoga because I know it's not like
Exercise.
yoga. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
Pilates,
no,
yoga,
it's
stretching type of thing.
Pilates. But here's the thing. It's incredible. They have 2 classes
Mhm.
that she could do. One is stretch, and what it does, and I started doing it probably about 3 years ago, and I wish I would have found it sooner. You know, she can't do the advanced classes, but just to get out there and do that, and there's a bar, and they just work at own speed. You know, she wouldn't do the advanced, but what it did for me, for my confidence and my walking, and just clearing your mind for that hour, it is so worth it.
Nice.
Well, and it helped your balance.
It helped my balance completely. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, I just felt like a new person again. You know, I was feeling good. And a lot of people lose weight off of that, too. And there's
Nice.
incentives. And what's nice, it's all different ages,
Mhm.
and there's different classes every day. And like the stretch and restore is incredible. And I always took that on Sundays where it was just my whole little hour. And I don't like yoga, but it was a mixture of the meditation and the music, and they're there to watch you and to help your balance. And you know, I told them I had a stroke, and so they paid special attention, and they didn't push you, you know, or
Nice.
anything. But that would be incredible for her.
Yeah, I know I for sure know they have those here in San Diego because I've driven
Yeah, they
past
do.
them.
Yes.
And yeah, so I'll definitely have to check in on that too. And yeah, I'll share all the information and see what we can get her in. But I think once she moves out here, I think it's going to be a lot easier because my wife and I are both very physically active. I mean, I do jujitsu,
See.
surf, CrossFit, all that.
Oh yeah. Well then, and here's the thing: you guys can come in and take those classes too with her.
Nice.
Like the stretch. And they have complimentary classes all the time. So even while she was there, your wife could go with her this next week and do a complimentary class and see.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
So many, and there's a lot of men that take the classes too.
Nice.
Let alone just for stamina, stretching. So.
Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah, it's a good workout.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds like anything will help because where she's at.
Mhm.
Philly's like I think it's ranked like the 3rd fattest city in the country, which not a surprise when you have Philly cheesesteaks. So, but yeah, well, I think once she gets out here, it's gonna be a lot easier for her.
Yeah, and Pure Barre, which is Pure, and then Barre, like ballet bar.
Got it.
So.
Okay. Perfect.
And it's nationwide, so.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time.
Okay.
Hope you guys have a great evening, and I'll look forward to chatting with you guys on Friday morning. If anything changes between now and then, or if you guys decide, hey, you know what, we're ready to go, tomorrow, feel free to give me a call, and we'll get you all squared away.
Sounds great. Thank you. Have a good evening. Have a good dinner. Bye.
Awesome. You too. God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. I don't think that could have gone really any, a whole heck of a lot better than it did. There's a little bit in there where, it's like, I don't know the way they're talking, but I think we came with a really solid Novation number that I think is going to work out and everybody's going to be happy with. So hope you guys got a lot of value. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel where we make real estate investing easy. Peace.